Realnesses. I am your host here, Chantele Francis, and I'm here with my lovely co-host. Today we have
Brazil.
Brazil. How are you doing today, Brazil?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm. I feel like the last couple of days have been a roller coaster of reality TV emotions for me. But I am very happy that today we're going to be talking about the most recent episode, episode 8 of Love Island US season 2. If this is your first time on Reality Realness, well then welcome. Make sure you subscribe, please, right down below. We're all about reality TV and all the gossip that comes along with it. So I kind of ended up watching this episode in 2 parts. So I started watching in the beginning yesterday, and then I was like, oh my God, I forgot that it's like the finale of Canada's Drag Race. Like I wanted to watch that live because I didn't want to get spoiled. So I was like, a friend of mine was doing a Zoom stream of it. And so we're all watching at 9:30. So I only watched the first like 20 minutes of it. And I was like, oh, it's so good. And then I couldn't find the episode until today. So you got to watch the whole episode and know what was going on. And then I just caught up right now. So it basically starts with Connor and Lauren going on their date. What do you think about this?
It was more like a therapy session.
Absolutely.
Than a date. But
when she walked out too, like I was like, maybe because she's also new to the villa and we haven't seen her different looks and stuff like that. But I was like, who is he with? Like I couldn't even figure out who he was with for a second. I'm like, oh yeah, it's Lauren. I don't know if it's because she was wearing sunglasses before or she had the winged eyeliner, but I didn't recognize her at first, which was really interesting. So Connor gives his opinion about the situation, and when he talks about Mackenzie, he gets so tongue-tied and weird. Like, really, what is going on with him? Help me understand this boy.
I think he wants out, but doesn't know how to do it, or is either too scared to do it and then have Lauren reject him. I don't know. I don't think I have no idea. I'm just as confused as he is, I think.
When he talks to Lauren and tells her, like, you have this, like, air of confidence about you that, like, I really like. And when you walked into the villa, like, I was, like, really taken by you. And he's never even able to say these things to Mackenzie out loud. Like, he's just like, and I'm just like, okay, you can speak and you can talk to a woman that's confident. Like, what is the problem?
I don't know. I think he's scared of Mackenzie.
Why?
I mean, look at how she reacts to little things.
Like, just kick her to the curb. Who cares?
I know.
I mean, it is a form, I think, of emotional manipulation, for sure. Like, you know, he's doesn't want to set her off. And he also don't think he wants to hurt her feelings. But like the fact that he can't seem to gather that the more he leads her on and says the things that she wants him to say, but is feeling a completely different way, the more likely that when he finally gets fed up, it's going to be a catastrophe.
So much worse.
It's going to be so bad. I can't wait.
He keeps gaslighting her, I think, and
he is. He's making her look stupid as well because, like, he's saying to Lauren, like, "Yeah, you're exactly what I was looking for," and then saying to her, like, "Can you be my girlfriend?" Like,
every time he goes into a conversation with Mackenzie to have a desired outcome, it's like the exact opposite. And then he goes and tells everyone what he said, which is not anything that he said to Mackenzie. So he's in trouble.
He is going to get himself in a whole lick of trouble. So we see Mackenzie also talking to Rachel. Rachel is very much the voice of reason, it seems like, in the villa. Like, all the women seem to talk to her, and she has a very clear point of view and perspective that I think is very helpful. And so she kind of lets Mackenzie know that, well, she did it in a quite a nice way. Like, maybe some people might have, not me, I don't think this, but it's possible that you might come across as controlling. And I'm like, just tell her she sucks. She is a bunny boiler. Like, she is scaring away poor little Connor, and he feels trapped. Like, tell her the truth. She needs to get it, but she doesn't. She doesn't see it. She says.
I think Trey told her the truth.
Yeah, basically.
That was the same combo, right?
I mean, it's just a little second after, but yeah, it's basically like it goes back to Connor and Lauren for a bit. And my favorite part of the beginning of this episode, anyways, was that she's like, "I feel like you're trapped." Link. I was like.
Yeah, and she was just speaking so much truth to him, and she's like, listen to yourself, like, come on. And he just, it was like, it was straight up a therapy session for Connor.
It was, and I think he definitely needs the therapy session. And I mean, I probably for Lauren that it was a big turn off. Like, I would never, ever want to be with a man that couldn't, like, I don't know. That's just not the vibe that I want. I want someone that like meets me confidence wise. You know what I mean? I don't want someone that I can walk all over that's like afraid to tell me that, hey, like I need a little space. Like I do not want that at all. That gets tongue tied when he talks to me. That's embarrassing. Like, I mean, I know I'm amazing and everything, and like you should be scared. But like, if I'm choosing you, you better be able to go toe to toe with me, right?
Agreed. And I wonder if he kind of reflected on that conversation and thought the same thing. Like, oh, I don't know if that was, kind of what she wants in a guy.
Well, what he keeps on saying is that he doesn't feel like they're compatible. And
well, they're not. But
I agree. But he's just such a wuss.
Yeah, no, and I think there's got to be a lot that we're not seeing. I think in regards to Mackenzie and Connor's relationship, because I think he is genuinely scared of her. And like from what they show, I don't see why he should be, other than like her react, like, kind of acting out for things that are out of his control.
Like he doesn't want to look bad?
I guess, but I wonder what we're not seeing, like when the cameras aren't rolling. Like maybe it's with literally everything. And he's just like, I don't know. I don't know, but it's not good.
He could be so hot.
I know. He is so hot, but
he's like, he goes down to probably like a 4.5.
Yeah. No, honestly, he goes down below any other guy's personality there. Like I would even say maybe Carrington, because at least Carrington's confident. So personality-wise, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that he and Johnny are the best aesthetically looking guys in the villa, but he has the worst personality in there. Like he's starting to get better with the guys. I'm starting to like how he's talking with the guys a little bit more, but just like how it's a love show and people being in relationships. I do not like this version of him that's in this relationship with Mackenzie, because it's everything that I dislike about like dating, because they're not being genuine. Like if you aren't interested in what she's doing, like tell her so she doesn't continue to do it. Don't reinforce her by being like, I want to be with you, because you don't. And it's what makes girls go crazy, because people are not being completely true to how they really feel. And so
he's almost enabling her actions.
Absolutely. Another funny line, the narrator had a couple of this episode. He's like, well, Connor finishes his intervention.
Yeah. I laughed at that one.
Like, actually though, man, like it's scary. So this is when Trey tells Mackenzie that, what's been really going on, like the fact that she doesn't give him space to breathe, and like all the stuff that we've already kind of started to speak about. Like he tells her in a really kind way, and he tells her coming from a guy, because usually from a girl she might not listen, but it's coming from a guy that's been in the villa with him, and I was very surprised by how well he was saying these things to her. Like, he's supposed to be this player, but I've been feeling that Trey has been coming off as very mature. And
I put a crack on for that whole conversation from Trey.
But even from when she was like, starts crying about she doesn't feel like she's good enough, and then she gets cheated on, and everybody and she doesn't feel good enough for friends or relationships, like, that's worrisome.
I think she, this is my personal opinion of her, and I could be wrong. I think she looked very different in high school, and then was maybe bullied, and then kind of went through a transformation, and has a lot of baggage from her years past that she's got to kind of.
Absolutely. Like, if you take away the boobs, take away the lipstick or the lip plumper, and take away the makeup, she could be unattractive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I have a feeling that she didn't always look like this, and she probably did get cheated on, and probably didn't feel good enough at one point, but she's carrying it into her life today. Yeah. And I feel like she's got a lot of things to kind of confront before she can do that.
And not to say that this is a blanket statement for everyone, but I know many people that have like any augmentations of some sort. It's because they have low self-esteem, and because it's not just be like, oh, like I want to fill out my cup a little bit more. It's kind of like, oh, if I have a fuller cup size, it's going to give me the confidence that I don't have. And so I'm feeling at this point that the enhancements that she's had has given her some kind of maybe false confidence. And that's why it's not matching up. Like, she's so good looking. She should be confident and be like, there's no way that man's going to be like, you know what I mean? It's having that vibe, but she doesn't. And it's like she has a mask of confidence, but behind it is somebody that's so insecure. So it's not balanced with how she's acting in the villa. It's kind of like, it's really unattractive.
Yeah, it's very evident that there's a lot going on that like we don't know about, but.
And then like Trey's like, just like when he comes, like, don't be mean to him, just like hug him, give him a kiss. It's like, what do you think I'm gonna do to him?
Or everyone's like storm out of the room when you see him walk back. And okay, when he walks back in, do you think they separated them on purpose?
What do you mean separated?
Because Lauren didn't walk in with Connor. He came in by himself.
He stayed on the date, and then she went on the date with Carrington after.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, how come she walked back with Carrington, not Connor? I thought they maybe had like separated them.
Like, Johnny was next, but he came back with Carrington after because he was the last date.
Okay, that makes sense. I was like, damn. Even the producers are like, let's separate them. Like, help Mackenzie out. Oh, okay. No, that makes sense. Duh.
I don't think so, anyways. So was it a crack on or a mug off the fact that she like just picked up and ran over to him and jumped and wrapped her legs around his waist and kissing him and just like allowing him to carry her?
That's not what she wanted to do, so it's a mug off. I mean, you have to do things that you don't want to do in a relationship. I get it. Like, that's just the name of the game. That's compromise. She knows that's what she thinks that's what she has to do in order to like redeem herself, I believe. But it's just so fake, so it's hard for me to like watch. It was so cringy. But his reaction to her was also cringy. The whole thing was mug off. Well, like, I missed you. Give me a kiss. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, and then like, but like, he's like, oh, like, let's go talk. And I was like, oh my gosh. He is going to tell her that he doesn't think that they're compatible and that he was open to maybe seeing things with Lauren. I'm like, oh my God, this villa is going to explode. They start talking. And I know. What they're talking about. Hey, Jaquan.
Hey, Jaquan.
I was just like, I am terrified here because he's not going to do it. I don't think he's going to do it. What's happening?
Not after I saw him like embrace her and like I was like, okay. But I was so curious as to what was gonna happen. So I was on the edge of my seat a little bit, but
as
soon as he started talking,
flat out, am I missing something? And there's like silence. I'm like,
She's giving him the floor to let it out. Just
and then I was like, do you still want to be with me?
exactly.
Respond with, right now, you're the only one I want to be with. What? When did this happen?
And no, and then he said, he was like really silent, and he's like, and that's when I thought it was going to happen. I was like, okay, here it comes. And he's like, I don't think, again, another haiku, you need to worry about me. And I'm like, what do you mean?
And then I wrote it in capital letters. I don't even like block writing. I handwrite everything. And I wrote, he asked her to be his girlfriend. What the blank? What the F? What?
I told you don't choke on your food while you're eating.
I'd already seen this part when I asked you. Oh, this is kind of funny. Kanye or Connor is Kanye's long lost cousin. Well, I mean, to lose the plot, yeah, maybe. Man.
Yeah, the whole scene, I was like, what is going on?
I was shocked.
That's why I thought maybe, I was like, okay, maybe on his walk back to the villa, he reflected on his conversation with Lauren and realized, maybe that didn't go so well. Maybe I should just like go all in on Mackenzie, because something changed from the time he left Lauren to the time he saw Mackenzie, or he's legitimately that scared of her.
He's legitimately that scared of her, because even when they sat down, I felt like upstairs, he wanted to slow it down, break it off, or whatnot. And he just couldn't do it to her face. This is why guys ghost. They're such wimps.
Yeah, honestly.
Wimp. Like,
I'm like crying. That was so funny.
Pardon? You're crying?
That was so funny, yeah.
Oh, man. So the announcer's got some material this episode, because his next thing that he says is Lauren is her 3-course man meal is onto her 2nd course, a prime cut of beefcake, Johnny. He's doing some writing. Like, someone said he went to like a creative writing course to get some.
I wonder if he sees all the. I mean, it's hard to live up to the UK narrator, so I wonder if he did.
He's actually a comedian, because the narrator in the UK is a comedian.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look that up, because like that, I think that's also why he's so much funnier, or is funny, is because he actually is a comedian, and so he is making fun of these people and telling jokes about these people, basically.
Right.
That's what I think, anyways. And right into it, right out of the gate, Johnny's like, "Why'd you pick me?" It's like, Johnny, you just don't even let a second to breathe. Now, how are we feeling about Johnny right now, since our last discoveries, last time we chatted?
Going into this date, I don't know. I thought it would be very telling with how he acted towards her and like the things that he said. And like you said, he just jumped in, but I think in his head, he's like, I'm not going to waste any time with, the like stupid questions. I'm just going to ask, why'd you pick me? So I kind of appreciated that a little bit, because it made it seem like he was a bit more serious about getting to the bottom of it and figuring out whether or not they'll be compatible. So I'm keeping an open mind. I'm still heartbroken. But I have to remember there are 2 sides to every story, and that girl could have just been wanting clout.
Yeah, absolutely. And from what we've seen so far with Johnny, he's been, up until this point, a good guy.
Yeah.
And sometimes girls aren't great. And sometimes use things in a way to make guys look shady. What we saw came across as shady. We don't exactly know what the time frame is. It's what she says it is.
But the one thing that threw me off was the fact that she threw in that engagement video when they're not engaged anymore, because there's almost no point in including that.
They were never engaged. They were only. It was a prank.
Oh, then yeah. So that already makes me like red flags about her. Like, I get you're hurt and upset, but
well, and if you're the one that's turning down your guy that's asking you to like wants you back, and then he goes on a dating reality show, like you kind of want him back.
Yeah,
I think. And so yeah, clout. She has like 100,000 followers now. Like all of a sudden, like she's relevant. So
she got what she wanted.
I think that's.
I'm gonna keep an open mind.
Me too. He does mention a lot though, which kind of got me a little bit worried about how attractive he finds Lauren and how like, you know, he caught her eye when she walked into the villa. So I'm just being nervous for Sally because Sally's been pretty chill and she's the chillest. And so you get cut back to the villa and Trey's talking to Sally and being like, I don't think that Johnny's head could be turned. And I was like, Trey's his boy. And Trey's a player. And I think Trey likes Sally as like sometimes you like your guys' girlfriends, your friends' girlfriends, just, you know what I mean? Like you get along, like you vibe with them or whatnot. And so I think that Trey vibes with Sally and is treating her as a friend as well. And so I don't think he would lie to her in that moment. So I was like, okay, Trey says that he doesn't think his head will be turned. Well, I believe Trey, right?
I would, yeah, absolutely. I've had relationships where I was like really close to the friends of like an ex, and they've even been the ones to tell me like, hey, something's up. Like, so I feel that if they do have like that good relationship, he would tell her if she needs to be worried, or if you know, she should maybe be looking into other guys. Yeah, dude, Trey has been killing it. Like I have nothing bad to say about him.
Me too. He's definitely, the image that was painted for him in the very beginning is very different from the Trey that's been coming through right now. And so I'm definitely enjoying that.
Yeah.
And Johnny, what I really like that he said directly to Lauren is that he really likes his connection with Sally.
He said from day one.
From day one, we've been getting along. Like, you know, Lauren was kind of seeing if she could kind of get in there a little bit by when he said something like, you know, we have a similar sense of humor and this and that. And like, he said something and she kind of went in and was like, well, is that enough?
Yeah.
He's like, yes, it is enough. Okay, get out of there.
And I like how he said too, he was like we're both like not oblivious to the fact that beautiful people like you are going to come in here. And so, like, we're open to, I don't know if he said getting to know other people or he said something along those lines. But that, too, is also, I think, the truth. So, I don't know. The whole conversation, I think, went.
I also liked Sally just taking a little bit of her claim here. And she's like, there's no way that someone can scratch his back like I can. And that's a thing. That's a thing.
She knows, and I think that's what works so well for them, is that, like, her confidence, and she ain't worried.
I don't think she's worried. Jaquan, who are you talking about here? I'm proud of my boy. He's the only one that kept it real with their girl. Trey?
I think so.
Out of all the boys, or is it Johnny? Not sure. Tell us.
Oh, maybe Johnny.
Who would he say is his boy?
I don't know. Oh my God, hold on, I'm mute.
That dog. Oh, he's talking about Johnny. Yeah, no, Johnny, like I know that stuff kind of creeped up, but I definitely think it was because of his girlfriend wanting to get some clout. But you're right, Jaquan. Johnny has really not done anything bad. He's been completely honest. He's been the voice of reason in the villa. Everybody comes and talks to him. He gives good advice. Like, he's level-headed. He's fun. Like, I feel like right now he's displaying the ideal islander. You know what I mean? He's kind of doing it all. He's doing it right. He's winning. He's going to win the 50 G's. If he takes it from Sally.
Huh?
What if he took it from Sally?
Don't play.
The 50 grand. What if that happened?
He won't. I will go to Virginia and I will message his girlfriend and we will get it back and I will take it to Sacramento for Sally.
So, what did you think about the Carrington and Lauren date?
I think
I couldn't see which face it was.
I think that he played it off that him and Kirsten are not an item. At least not in the way that Johnny did about like Sally and himself. But I don't know. I couldn't. Again, it was almost not as much of a therapy session because Carrington's more confident with himself, but I think she definitely could tell she preyed on him in regards to his feelings towards Kirsten. She kind of started jumping in there, like trying to, like she was doing with Johnny, but she started doing it with Carrington and saw that I think it was working a little bit more.
Absolutely. And well, Carrington, though, he was saying that he really wanted to feel like home. And, you know, I think that also has like to do with his upbringing, like moving around a lot, or people in his life moving around a lot and not maybe feeling completely stable. And so I'm kind of thinking that he thinks of Lauren as kind of a motherly figure because she is very calm. She is very confident. She is like, what, 8 years older than 7 years older than him? Like that's quite a bit.
Or two.
A woman to be older than a man, unfortunately. She's also from the UK, which has completely different standards of maturity, especially within relationships. And so I can understand how that is very, very, very attractive. But I think that she is way out of his league. And for him to be even questioning it, I think it has to just be for the show, because I don't think that he really thinks that there's going to be a possibility with her and him and Lauren. Do you really think he thinks that that's a thing? I think
maybe for like Love Island purposes, but absolutely not for outside of this. No
like
way.
You really see Lauren like cuddling up to Carrington in a bed.
Yeah, I can, but I don't know how true it is that she dates younger guys to her detriment, because that's all I know about her. Like, I don't know. I guarantee you if I Google her, she's probably like on some LA websites. There's no way she's not. Like, so I feel like I want to see who her exes are and if they're actually younger. But I couldn't see
her by like a year, not like 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah, I mean,
in your 20s, I like in your 30s, I can let it handle, and in your 40s or 50s, whatever. But 20s, I just think it's just too young, both of you.
Yeah, she's almost 30 and he's almost 23. It's too much.
It's not good. I know we keep on saying this, but it's just very apparent to me that these relationships are most likely not going to work because the guys are too young. That's just the thing. That's what I think. So he does say though that he likes Kirsten and he does have feelings for her. So I'm happy that he at least acknowledged that there is something going on with Kirsten, unlike Connor, who just like pretended like he had no feelings for Mackenzie whatsoever, and then telling Mackenzie he wants to be his girlfriend. I wish that she had told everybody that he asked her that, and then like her being like, what the fuck?
I mean, maybe she's scared of Mackenzie too.
She did say that she was scared of her. She's like, I'm scared of her. I'm scared of her. Like, are you scared of her? I mean, I wouldn't be friends with her, so I wouldn't be scared of her at all. So Mackenzie, she's manipulative as well. She gives this apology to Lauren, and kind of saying that like she saw how she came across when she came in and when her going on the date, and like obviously she wants to appear like she's the bigger person. So I get why she did it. I'm glad that she did it, but I think it was a little bit manipulative. Crack on or mug off for that, the apology.
I mean, crack on for effort, but mug off in general, because, I mean, even Lauren's face, she was doing her makeup. She's like, okay. Like, not really. I would be the same way. Like, okay, I crazy.
Absolutely. And then what do you call it? Wait, so what else happened? So then Lauren after goes and tells the guys that she's like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, I'm confused by this. Like, she's like, from whatever he said to her to what he said to me is two completely different stories. And that's
they're like, welcome to our world.
Oh my gosh, yes. So Carrington does tell the guys that he was a little more honest. He's also not great at articulating himself too. Tells the guys kind of what went on with him and Lauren, and that he said that he was open to maybe talking to her, kind of, sort of, but still kind of, sort of talking to Kirsten.
Yeah, he was like, I shouldn't feel bad. Like, he just kept saying you shouldn't feel bad.
Yeah, you should. If you feel bad, it's that you're in a relationship with somebody. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like they're just like, because they're so young and they're like, oh, I'm supposed to like wet with like every girl that comes in this place. And they're just like, oh my God, it's all these girls. But like, I kind of like in a relationship, but like, I'm on Love Island. I'm supposed to do this. I think that they just don't get that if they find someone that they want to be serious with or just explore something with, they do not need to wet there with every other pretty ting that comes into the villa.
They're also young.
So annoying. Okay, so I don't know when this happened. Oh, Mackenzie brings it up again. Who's she talking to? Yeah, he's talking to him. And he doesn't have the confidence to say what he's freaking feeling. So like she keeps on giving them these opportunities. So, like, obviously she could tell that he's like he's like locked away and he's just like terrified, like shivering in the corner that like she's gonna come out and like, you're in love with
Look
me.
at her. She's like 10 pounds.
10 pounds. She looks like she's 17. Like,
there's got to be something that we're not seeing that makes her so damn scary, because I'm not scared of her.
Well, I think it's because guys are afraid of emotions. And so
she's full of them.
I think I gave you the comparison. It's like Nicole and Victor. I think Victor's trapped away.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think he is scared to say what he really feels. And so he's convinced himself that he's fallen in love with her and that he really wants to live on an Amish farm? Like,
yeah, that's why she wants to win. So they can buy an Amish farm for $380,000, but it has no electricity. What? I don't know. The Victor I know, or no.
Victor Caliente, like coming back, like Battleback King, like
The Challenge. I watched that season.
I mean, he was embarrassing on that, but like
a little bit. But at least he went on. Fuck, like Nicole would never go on. Oh, they're so mean to me.
Could never hack the calendar.
I wish she would, just so she could do one of like the wrestling ones and just get her fucking ass beat. Good ass beating.
People would get all her frustrations out on her. But anyways, it's the same thing though. Like, I think Victor might be trapped because there's no way that somebody that has like really like confidence, like big confidence, big cojones, would be allow themselves to get trapped into.
I don't know, and I don't feel bad for Victor or Connor. Get out of it. Like, come on.
You're gonna laugh.
Get Dr. Phil. That would go well.
Oh my God.
I can see it now. Mackenzie would rush off stage. Camera crew would be following her. She's like, no, stop.
Stop. I don't want to be crying on camera. Like,
and Connor's sitting there like,
I love him. And like, it's just like, like when he tells me it's just different what he says here.
I mean, to be fair, he is gaslighting her, so. But I still don't feel bad for him, and I don't feel bad for Victor whatsoever.
I don't either. But Victor, like, is he scared of making her cry? Like, remember even Enzo was like, oh, I don't want to make Nicole Franzel cry. Like, they're scared of.
How is that so scary?
Guys don't like it.
I know they don't like it, but they don't like a lot of things. Get the fuck over it.
It's just, they don't like tears. I don't even really like tears. Not really.
I don't either. I mean, it's hard to make, like, I'll cry from, like, watching something emotional or, like, you know, but I won't, like, cry because I'm upset rarely ever.
In front of a dude? No way.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Never.
girl or guy, like I rarely just like cry because I'm like frustrated or like actually upset. I get mad.
He agrees with you because he would do the runoff stage on Maury when they're not the father.
You know they'd be chasing her too, and she's like, "Stop! No, stop!"
Ripping off her mic pack, like
Yeah. She's like, "Finally, someone's chasing me. See, Connor should be chasing me, not you guys."
I'm still sitting there talking to you, and you should be talking to me. Why?
Oh shit.
But like, okay, I mean, maybe when I was younger, maybe I did. And maybe I'm just like having, I'm just changing history. But like, I just can't imagine looking that weak.
That's that, but that's how insecure she is. That's what makes me think.
I'm too proud to, at least now anyways, to be like, why don't you want to be with me? Like, there's somebody told me, I mean, he hasn't told her this once yet. I think it was Steve Harvey. He said, never let a man tell you he don't want you twice. Those are like words to live by. If he breaks up with you once, it's over, and never, ever let him tell you again that he's not into you. It's so true, though.
Those are wise words.
Wise as F. Never. So, like, from that point, it's like, oh, okay, that's not a thing. There's no trying to get me back. Like, there's no, like, you messed up. Sorry, I'm not giving you a second chance. Like, it's just done. No. I'm not going to let someone break up with me more than once.
Fuck no.
Oh, oh God. Yeah, she's just in a really bad place. So Lauren and Kirsten have a little bit of chit chat. And Kirsten lies about in this conversation as well, basically saying that like, oh, they solidified their relationship and like, they're not planning on seeing anybody else, or like they're not really open to it, which was very.
Lauren calls her on it.
What did she say exactly? I can't remember.
She's like, he told you that?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, woof. I'm wondering the same thing, Kirsten.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember that conversation.
Yeah.
And Kirsten is playing it off better than Mackenzie for sure, but like she could have probably played this off a little bit better. Just being like,
I think she's intimidated a bit, which understandably so. I mean, but especially because she was like kind of questioning her back, I would have been kind of like, and if I already knew I was lying, I would have been kind of like, I don't know.
Well, and it was pretty obvious that she's lying by how just like, like, like we're just like.
Okay, time. This is the second episode I've seen Kirsten with sunglasses that are far bigger than her face. Like, so huge that they don't even stay on her nose. She keeps like pushing them up. I'm like, either her face is that tiny or she's taking the wrong sunglasses.
I do like big, oversized sunglasses. Like, I think I even have the ones that she have, but they do.
I do too, but this is the most oversized I've ever seen. Like, to an extreme.
I'm gonna find them for. Maybe I'll put them on. They're not too far.
Come on, she's pushing them up every.
Yeah, I know, but I think that also it's really interesting because they don't usually allow people to wear sunglasses on Love Island.
Ooh, I know, especially the reflective ones.
Yes, she does. She does. She definitely
plays on the vulnerability.
She kind of saying that Lauren is like a hawk hunting for her prey. She sees all the cracks in people's relationships. Well, I think because she's so confident, she just shakes everything up that's not stable. Like anytime there's like any instability, she comes by and she's so strong in who she is and like just asking questions and not intimidated by the situation that like everybody else around her just like buckles. And so.
Well, and I said that I think her coming into the villa is a good thing because she's going to kind of resemble what's going to happen outside of the villa. Like, there are going to be people that are going to test your relationship, and you got to face it. If you can't face it now, when are you going to be able to face it?
Absolutely. I do think for the way the season is shaping up, it's coming at a good time, I think. Before I was a little bit apprehensive that they weren't really they didn't really like each other that much. But I don't know what's changed between last year and this year. But like, I'm invested even in Kirsten and Carrington. Like, I'm like, what's gonna happen with them? Like, is he gonna break up with her? Like, I'm invested in that. I'm invested in all the relationships so far, and I really wasn't invested in any of them last season. So
I know I was invested in certain people last season. Like Kira, I loved her and wanted her, but then I'm like,
oh, but she was kind of annoying too in the end.
Really? Well, yeah, but I'm like, but no one is like, I feel like no one there was like, even good for her, so I was like, whatever. But I did think the people that won should have won, just because they were the only like really stable couple from the beginning. But Elizabeth and
boring couple.
But yeah, no, this season it's like there's a lot of potential all around, I feel, and that they could be dated, like they could swap partners, and I feel like it could work, kind of thing. It took me a while to warm up to it, but I'm all in.
Yeah, this one's good. It's just great. I really love everybody. Like, I'll follow them all on Instagram. Like, I'm sure I want to see what's going on with them. And I didn't follow anybody last season, so that means something. Okay. Connor has a little chit chat with the guys, and he tells them again that he doesn't think that he's compatible with Mackenzie. And all the guys are like, no shit, Sherlock, she's crazy. That's in their head. Like, it's kind of like with the guys, you can see what they want to say behind their eyes, and they're just trying to be supportive. You know what? You're right, Jaquan. He says what stable looks like in the year 2020.
Fair.
I guess. Oh, she's.
I don't know. I think at least we can blame 2020 for everything this year.
Yeah. You can.
It's true. Like, I'm trying to think of like some good things that have happened this year, and I'm like,
I mean, honestly, for me, a lot of good things have happened this year. So it's been a good year for me on a whole.
Wow, that's good. I'm happy for you.
I'm not gonna like RHAP. I started talking on RHAP. That would not have happened if 2020 didn't happen.
True. I know. I was talking to Andrew about that, and he was like, You won Big Brother Cheesecake 4. And I was like, okay, that was pretty much my highlight.
You did. I got 127 subscribers on YouTube. Woo-hoo!
Yeah, well, you jumped up like pretty high. I think you just hit 100 like not too long ago. So to get 27 that fast, I think was decent.
Not fast. I want it faster, guys. I want to get to 1,000. I want to feel like I'm part of like the YouTube world, you know?
Come on, rap.
Come on, share this with your friends. Who else wants to talk the real tea about Love Island? You know, real tea.
I know they're out there.
So Sally gets a text. I got a text, and it's for some sort of wet, hot summer slip inside something called All Washed Up. Did you?
Is that when she was twerking when she got the text?
Who was?
With Sally, is that when she started twerking when she got the text?
Oh, I didn't see it. I was probably writing.
I was cracking up.
I love Sally. She's such
Me too.
She's and so, wait, what? Oh, Calvin has I think it was his first conversation or confessional, and I thought he was cuter in a hat. Silence. You're not into him. I thought he looked like your ex, so you're just you're feeling him.
My ex, someone I dated. Oh my God! This morning when I went on Facebook, that was the first. His profile was just right there because that was like the last thing I was doing last night. I was like, ah. I know. I was looking at him like last night on TV. I was like, he looks exactly like someone I know. Like, and then I finally figured it out. Like after I watched the episode, and I was like, oh my God, different hair but same face.
But he's definitely cuter in a hat, and I'm kind of he's growing on me a little bit. So this was an interesting challenge. So the girls were wearing like, I don't know, little kind of like bra top, like tied tops, and little Daisy Duke short shorts and some running shoes. And the guys are wearing like mechanic kind of gear with it unzipped to like their belly button.
Grease Lightning 2020.
Yeah, I mean, I love outfits and costumes and stuff like that, so I'm always down for dressing up, so I'm going to like it no matter what. What the girls had to do was pour a bucket of water on themselves I guess seductively. I don't know if that's in the brief, but like they poured on themselves. And then they had to slide down a giant slip and slide, do whatever they want at the bottom of the slip and slide, get up, go through like the car wash bristles sexily. Okay.
Hot.
And then they had to wipe the car a little bit. And then they had to come around and
kiss their person of their choice
that they chose. So
the only good thing about that entire game was that they had to pick someone to kiss.
Yes. I was screaming for most of this challenge. I lost my voice. I couldn't watch. It was so cringy and embarrassing. Like, I come from a dance background, so I've seen dances. I've had dance-offs. I used to go dance. Like, I like dancing seductively is not something that it makes me shy, really. But when these girls were doing it, it was so thirsty that
it was really trashy.
It was so thirsty and embarrassing. So I believe it was Kirsten that went first, and she really went in for like a kiss. And Carrington commented on it. It's like, oh, the kisses that we usually have are just like and like this one, like she really went in for it, and he liked it. He did like that confidence, and he did like that aggressiveness that was coming from her. What do you think? Was it a mug on or crack on or mug off for their little
crack on?
Okay.
I after watching more, I'm like totally team Kirsten for Carrington. Like, absolutely. Yeah. I said in the beginning they'd be good for each other, but I didn't mean it in like a very positive way. But just seeing her, like how upset she was when Lauren first came in, and kind of seeing her have like a mini Mackenzie breakdown, and then seeing her just kind of rise above it and just go full out. I thought that was a huge crack on. She could have cracked under pressure and just like, but she didn't. She
didn't. She definitely, I mean, all the girls looked hot doing it. No,
yeah.
They all looked good, but some of their moves, it was so thirsty that I was cringing and screaming. And so
it was bad. I literally was like, I wonder what Chantele thinks, because I immediately was like, mug off. This competition sucks. Like, fuck this. And then I was like, I wonder if Chantele's like, oh, I liked it. And I'm like, no.
It's kind of hit or miss. Like, I kind of like it because it's stupid and like, this slow motion camera shots and like.
I want to see it without slow motion. Then how stupid would it look?
It would look a lot worse, but just be like.
Like weird, like awkward, like trying to position in the water. Like, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
I do. The only thing I like though was that they got to choose who they were kissing before, because that shows a lot.
Yeah. I mean, he said it, like she's making a statement, and she definitely did. And so she was the first girl that went, and so I'm impressed that she went for it. She could have easily, held back and not gone all the way just because she hadn't seen maybe the other girls, but she set the bar pretty high with what people were willing to do to turn on their voice, I guess we'll say.
Yep.
Thanks, Chiquan. He says, congrats. I guess it's to my 127 followers.
Get it, girl.
Share it with your friends. So we can have a party every.
I know, Jaquan, like, can you have your friends come on too?
Chat with us. Who was next? So Mackenzie was next, and it was just so cringe because she's just so desperate to like. Really.
I could just hear herself inside of her head, like, just freaking out, screaming, like, ugh.
Wait, what? See, I think the producers let them choose to start drama. Normally, you have to stay in the couple. Wait, what?
I think it was a recoupling episode too.
Say that again.
I think because it was also a recoupling episode.
Right.
They were letting him explore a little bit.
Right. Yes, it's just like they're going on the dates, and then they have to do all these kissing things, and so.
And no one's really gone on a date other than like, I mean, I'm talking about people that are coupled up, like how randomly they'll send them on dates. Other than Kelly and Johnny going to the hideaway, no one else has gotten like a date outside of the house that's already a couple.
Now, I'm wondering if this doesn't usually happen till a little bit later, like maybe next week. Those couple dates will start happening, because I think now we're going to be starting voting on people as a couple. You know what I mean? Couples to stay.
Maybe, yeah, you're right. This week we are, I think.
So
or tonight even we're voting.
Yeah, I think tonight we're voting for stuff like that. So maybe then we're going to start seeing people as couples a little bit more to get to know them as a couple, and then maybe more like people will still come in, but it'll be to intercept stronger couples. So I think they'll go on dates soon. I think. So yeah, Mackenzie, she was good, but it was just really embarrassing, and because you just know that she's just so desperate for Connor to be like into her and like think she's sexy, and like,
and you know the boys are just like
it's just cringe. So Mackenzie, I'm sorry, but you are a mug off. Kirsten, I'll give you a crack on because you went first, and so that was a little bit ballsy. Rachel, I just said she was okay. I didn't find her sexy. I didn't find her dancing that great.
No, no, a little awkward, but I mean, it's hard for me to judge them in this situation because I would be fucking dying inside. I don't know what I would be doing. Like in a situation like that is so awful.
I mean, for me, it doesn't really bother me that
God.
just because I've had to perform for my whole life or whatever. So
it's, but just, I don't know, not my jam. I could never go on something like Love Island. So like in these situations, nope.
It's one of those things. It's actually pretty exhilarating, to be fair. Like performing is pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's surprising the adrenaline rush that you get, and then you kind of get into a zone. So, I mean, they aren't all performers, I don't think, and so it was definitely probably stepping out of their comfort zone. But you'd be surprised that you might actually like doing something like that, because you just have like no inhibitions and you just get to do whatever you want, and like that's very liberating. So you might have liked it. Just saying. Okay. Next up, who's next up? Oh wait, sorry. And so Mackenzie obviously picked Connor as her kiss, and Rachel picked Caleb as her kiss. So next up, Justine. Justine calls her shot, her kiss.
All the guys are like rubbing Trey's back, like massaging him, like, come on, it's your time.
And she chooses Caleb. The girl chooses Caleb. And
I was shook.
Was like,
I felt so bad for Trey, 1. 2, I was shook to the core.
Shook. And then Miss Justine all of a sudden is like twerk queen, like coming down,
doing the splits, like twerking,
the car wash thing, like bent over, ass clapping. I was like, sorry, what?
And then she does the unthinkable, the thing we haven't seen her do this entire season.
She freaking kisses Caleb.
She doesn't just kiss Caleb. She's full on making out with Caleb, and we haven't seen her full on make out with anyone.
I was screaming. That's what I wrote down. Screaming.
I was so shook.
I'm still shook.
I know.
I'm still shook because Rachel and her are friends.
I know. And by Rachel's face, I could tell she didn't know it was coming.
Absolutely not. And I was like, why didn't Justine at least mention to her friend that, hey man, like, I do want to get to know Caleb a little bit more. Like, things are not going that well with Trey. Like, I know that you just started talking to him, but like, I'm sorry, but I really would like to get to know him a little bit as well.
I could see if it was like a in the moment decision, but there's no way that it was. There's no way that wasn't calculated.
Yeah, I have a lot to say coming through the rest of this episode about Miss Ting.
I know
What's this? The first date is next episode. Okay. And what's this? The difference between Rachel and Justine is that Rachel just came in and she had no loyalty to her. Yes. And the date with Jeremiah. Exactly. Was prior to meeting Justine, while Justine didn't give Trey a chance. Exactly. Like,
it was a cop out when Justine pulls that later on. It was definitely a cop out.
I was so angry. We'll get to this because like I have a rant that's coming for this girl.
Yeah.
So I was shocked, and obviously Rachel was pissed, and very well should be pissed. Like, if
deservedly so.
The girl code should have been there already. And if you're talking about respect levels and you know you're on Love Island, you're doing this for yourself, like tell your girl the freaking truth before you go and embarrass her in front of national television, and then embarrass the guy that you were kind of talking to for a bit that you just dumped because like he was moving too fast or you didn't know if it was going to get there. Like, it was all around a bad play, and I thought she looked, in my opinion, bad. I didn't think she was like a good person.
She did, and I'm like the most team Justine you can find, and she looked awful.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
So Jaquan is saying she kind of double crossed her by kissing Caleb. Absolutely, she did. If my friend did that to me, she wouldn't be my friend anymore.
Like she would no longer be my friend.
Just be okay. Let's like have him do what you want, go for it. But we're not friends. Like,
yeah,
I know we're on Love Island.
That's how you operate. I don't fuck with that.
I do not at all. I would have been so friggin' livid. So next up is Lauren. So I was very curious about Lauren, who she was going to choose. Because I wasn't sure if she was going to, like, I was just starting to get worried that, like, it didn't seem to be focusing around Johnny and Selly. And so I was just worried that, like, because you're saying, like, oh, you're going to be screaming, like, that it was just going to come out of left field or something like that. So I was like, oh my God, she's going to choose Johnny. Oh my God, don't choose Johnny. Don't choose Johnny.
I meant Justine. Like, you're going to be like, what the?
No, I know. I get it now. I've seen the episode. But like,
oh, yeah.
the moment, I was still like not sure where the screaming, because I've already screamed now twice. And so she chose Carrington, which I was relatively surprised by. But I think that he's the safest bet, I would say, out of all the three. Yeah. Like, Kirsten isn't as crazy as Mackenzie, obviously. And then also Selly is so nice. She's like the most welcoming out of all the girls there. And she's like, she is kind of the life of the party. I think the vibe, like her vibe is the villa. And so I just don't see Lauren wanting to go and change the vibe of the villa for Johnny right now. I just don't think that.
When she's like unsure if Johnny would even want her.
Exactly. So I was really happy that she chose Carrington. She had to choose somebody. And she did a pretty good job. I didn't think she won, though.
I already know why she won.
For the drama? What?
No, because she has assets. She's the only one there with like a big booty.
Well, Justine is pretty thick compared.
But not like her. She's not like Lauren. Like, I think that's why all the guys are so like, because like you said, she has like more of a like closer to a Kim K like build, and that's in right now. And Lauren's got it. And when she was twerking, like she knows like to face her butt towards the guys because that's what's gonna get them. She knew exactly what she was doing, and I can't hate her for it.
Man,
that booty though.
Yeah, so the boys decide to award her the win as to the, I guess, the best kiss or whatever.
It's unanimous. I'm like, duh.
The only person that should have kissed someone outside of the couple is Lauren because she's the only single person. Absolutely.
Agreed.
Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't say it anymore.
100% agreed. And I don't know. It would be different if Lauren had already made out with Trey, or Justine had already made out with Trey. But she hasn't even like let herself get that far with him. So to watch her just do it, screw over a girl in the process, was very, very, very mug off. I was just, what is she doing?
She's losing votes, basically. So the girls, after the little competition, they have a little chat. And Justine, this is her response. She doesn't want to confuse Trey. Like, F does she think she is? Confused Trey. Like, it's just if it's just for the game, it's just for the game, and he's not gonna be like, oh yeah, like now you want something more with me. Like,
all she's doing is confusing him. Like, I don't want to be with you, and then cuddle him, and then like this, like, and I don't know if I think they've already showed them in bed, like the bed scene, and the only two that are cuddling are Justine and Trey. And he even says, like, I think they show the, like the little clip of everyone sleeping, and she's cuddling him for the first time. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. And even Trey says, like, yeah, last night she was like all up on me, and then
well, and like talking to him about stuff, like real things, and like they were having kind of a connection. And like, from what it seems to me is that, like, yes, she might have put the brakes on and wanted to see other people, but she was seemingly still continuing developing some sort of emotional connection with him, which is like really.
But she hasn't been trying to do that before. Like, she wasn't cuddling him, she wasn't kissing him, she wasn't like doing anything. And then all of a sudden she says that, and then she's like all in. Like, I don't. Yeah, all you're doing is confusing everyone.
Mm-hmm. Especially Trey. Weirdo.
Trey. I'm like so team Trey right now.
Team Trey all the way. The boys also have a chat, and apparently, yeah. So that's when Trey was telling them that like she was trying to talk to him last night and in the bed and stuff like that. And so like he's just like saying to the guys, like, I don't really know what's going on here. Like, she's acting one way and then acting another. Oh, what's Jake one saying? Oh wait, no, sorry, this one. So the fan vote has Kirsten winning. What's the fan vote for?
It said like on the app, it was like, who do you think did the best, like, of all the girls? And Kirsten,
very, very good. I cringed the least for her.
I think it didn't have anything to do with her dancing. I think it has to do with like her showing up to the occasion and just being like, "Oh, you."
And she went first. Yeah, I thought hers was pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah, no, it was good, but I mean, all of them kind of looked similar to me, except for the ones that were like very cringy. But there was something about Kirsten's that made me immediately be like, yes, girl, get it.
I didn't cringe, and I didn't look away for her. Everyone else was like, I didn't cringe for Lauren's either, so that must mean something. I didn't cringe for Stelly's either, actually.
Yeah, no, Stelly's I didn't.
Did I even write hers down? I didn't even write hers down. I thought she was
just like a given. I feel like I'm just like, yeah, Stelly's great. Like, of course it was.
She didn't embarrass me. She was cute. Like, looks like she was having a good time, and like, yeah, she was fine here. But Carrington didn't have to risk it all with that kiss with Lauren, while Kirsten was right there.
Yeah, but same with the situation with like the roulette table. Like, they're kind of in a situation he can't just turn Lauren down for a kiss.
Yeah, it's a little awkward. It's a little ballsy of Lauren to do so.
But like Jake Juan said, he thinks that they were trying to stir the pot by having them pick someone. So
people think Trey's playing a game. I think Justine, this is my train of thought, Mr. Jaquan. We will get to more of what I think about Miss Justine as we get further down into this episode. The next page of my notes. Probably.
You what?
I said probably the next page of my notes I'll start talking about what has happened to Justine. So I wrote that. Did I write this as a question? Does Carrington prefer Lauren's kiss? Is that what he said?
Oh, I don't know. No, I think he said he well, I don't know. That's confusing question. All I remember him saying is that he was really happy that Kirsten brought it. Like, he was like so surprised that he didn't think she was going to, and the fact that she did was like a huge turn on. But I don't remember him saying that he preferred one over the other. I could be wrong.
Yeah, well, he said prefer, but then he also said I really liked. So I just couldn't remember which one. I think he did say he was like, oh, I preferred Lauren's, but then like Kirsten really brought it. So I don't know. It was confusing what he said, but I think he liked both the kisses, and I'm happy that Kirsten brought it because I just didn't want to see. I don't necessarily like seeing the girls come in and be the homewrecker. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily like that as well. But it's a very catch-22 considering what the basis of this show is. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So one thing, is this a crack on or mug off, was that the girls call Moira Momo.
I crack on because I have like the absolute weirdest nicknames, like that you would never even think of. So
For you or for other people?
for me, like people make up weird nicknames for me that like have nothing to do with my name. So
I'm like Moira Momo. I also have a nickname for a friend of mine. His name was Alex, but he was a tagger, so he used to tag Alamo. And then I've never met him as Alex. I've only met him as Alamo. But I've only really nicknamed him as Momo. So like I only knew him as Momo. But his name is Alex.
So one of like what my Nicole and I, like one of our best guy friends, his real name is Scott, but when he joined a fraternity, there was another Scott. And so I guess like the older guys in the fraternity were like, we can't have two Scotts here. And so our friend Scott went, oh, I'll go by Dragon. And like that has been like literally no one knows his name. Everyone just calls him Dragon. And like, and that's like to this day, like he's in my phone as like Dragon BFF. And like, even when I like go to like search him on Facebook, I'm like Dragon. Oh shit! Like his actual name's Scott, I think. So
it's so funny though when nicknames are actually like become the real thing. Like I swear to God, when people are like, "Oh, Alex," and I'm like, "Who's Alex?" I'm like,
yeah, no, and I don't know one person that's ever called him Scott. Like no one. Like he introduced himself as Dragon. My dad, because I've gone to like Giants games with him and my dad and like other guy friends. And like literally, my dad's like, "How's Dragon?" Like no one knows his real name.
So funny.
I mean, it's endearing though. I like the nickname.
I love nicknames in general. So like, I think they're cute. Like I'm bothered by people that do not like when people give them nicknames. I find that I'm like, I have a problem with it. I don't know. I haven't decided why I don't like it, but maybe it's because it makes them like think too highly of themselves or something. Yeah. Like I don't know.
Like when people get mad that they have the same name, like it's their fault. Like Nicole Franzel and BB, she's like, I'm the only Nicole.
Yeah,
no, bitch, you're not.
You call me Coco. That's what my close friends call me. It's like nobody's calling you Coco. I'm calling you Franzel.
Yeah, I'll call you Rat Cole.
Rat Cole. My mom even calls her Rat Cole. But you know what though, Coco? One of my best friends, Nicole, I do call her Coco. So it's a thing.
I know, poor Nicole Quaz. Stuck with an evil name.
I mean, we all have a Nicole in our life, and I also have one of my best friends' name is Karen. So you know.
Oh.
Like.
Yeah, no, I have a few Nicoles that I'm like really close with, but yeah, I don't have any Karens.
Yeah, I have a Karen. She's actually like one of the most fun people on the planet.
I feel really bad for the cool Karens out there.
She's a cool Karen, but she lives in Montreal.
Shout out to the cool Karens.
She lives in Montreal, so I don't even know if that like the whole Karen stereotype exists in Montreal. So it's fine.
I hope not, because I feel like everyone in Canada, like all the Karens in Canada, are probably cool.
I mean, maybe not all, but like this Karen's super cool. I'll tell you stories about her another day, not online. Okay, who's this? Kirsten talks to who about Justine? Oh, it must have been Rachel. Yeah, Kirsten and Rachel, because they came in together. They were pretty close. And Rachel was saying things that made sense to me, is that like what she was supposed to be friends with Justine. And as a friend, I would think that, you know, if she's interested in she just sent home Jeremiah because she wanted to get to know Caleb. And that was a hard decision for her because she was developing decisions for Jeremiah, but Jeremiah wasn't feeling the same way. So she took a leap of faith to choose Caleb. You're supposed to be, this is your girl, and you don't feel that you need to just maybe say something or just warn her in advance that, you know, you're going to go and pick her to kiss him?
I could see if Justine and Jeremiah had like a good connection and then Rachel swooped in on that, but they did not. So for her to bring up the fact that she took Jeremiah from her was very juvenile, and she's got no argument.
Well, before that happened though, too, Trey and Justine have the conversation. Okay, this is where like I'm starting
Oh, yeah.
pissed off because she like pulls him over for a chat, and all of a sudden she has this like fake swagger or something. Like she has some false bravado that's coming off here. This attitude, like she's
something we have never seen before.
Like I was just like, who is this? Like it's not. This is not good. I like confidence, but this is fake confidence. This is like you being a shitty human being and thinking that you're being like I'm just standing up for myself. I'm going after for what I want, and like Love Island. I'm making Love Island work for me. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing while I'm here. And I was just like, oh my God, Miss Justine, like you are missing the point completely. And so Trey's like, he's calling around. He's like, you kissed somebody else instead of me, and you thought that I wasn't.
You didn't tell him.
Pardon me?
And she didn't even tell him. I think he said that. Like, you didn't even let me know.
But no, and he's like, but you didn't want to confuse me? I'm sorry. Like, what does she not understand by her?
She thinks that their conversation they had a day or two before meant that she is allowed to go do that and he would understand.
But okay, but if that's the case, then why are you pulling him over for a chat? There's nothing to talk about. There is absolutely nothing to talk about. There's no more cuddling. Like, we are completely done. Like, there's no, like, you didn't want to be with me. And then
she's gaslighting him.
Exactly. And then she goes and does something without telling him, and then is acting like they're in a relationship, but he's just allowing her to explore things, and that she didn't want to confuse him anymore. Like, can you get any more cryptic with your intentions? I was so angry. I
loved how he just like kind of walked off and was like, F you.
He's like, yeah, it's just like, you know what? This is done. This is done. I was like, yeah, it is done.
Well, what was his last line? That was good. It was so good. I didn't write it down. I should have. But I was like, oof.
Well, she definitely kept on saying, like, yeah, you did want to hurt me. I think you did want to hurt me. He did say that.
Oh, she's like, you thought that my intentions were to hurt you? And he's like, yeah, I did, Justine. I was like, oof.
I'm like, yes, she did. That's what I wrote. I'm like, yes, yes. Ugh. I was just like, she was so delusional with what she thought this reaction, like, what did she want to come across as being, like, desired, like, to be this.
The whole situation, like how she thought that she could turn it back on Rachel by saying that she took Jeremiah from her. Delusional.
What? Hold on. Let me just see what this comment is. So the people in the other game, they were doing pecs and it wasn't a full-out makeout section.
And we've never seen Justine even do that before.
Exactly. Like, she's never kissed anybody. She's just like, like, oh, kiss my cheek, kiss my forehead, cuddle. Don't want to be in a relationship. Moving too fast, moving too slow. Like, God, such mixed messages. Friggin' watery. Pisces. Wishy-washy.
Hey.
Sorry, girl. A lot of people are Team Justine on Instagram. I don't know if we're watching the same show. Okay, but maybe they hadn't seen yesterday's thing yet, because up until I watched that episode, I was so Team Justine, and now I'm anti Justine.
And I'm always like team girl over team boy, like until like prove me wrong. Mm-hmm. And I've been like, after yesterday, I'm so Team Trey. And I've been Justine's like #1 fan since the beginning. I just don't know what she's doing. I'm like thoroughly confused, as is everyone else around her.
Man, so the girls are getting ready for the evening, and Stelly, like, I just like putting Stelly's little remarks in there, because she's like, okay, girls, what are your goals? What are our goals? And nobody says anything. She's like, my goal is to make Johnny fall in love with me. And I was like,
I love her so much. She would be my best friend in real life.
She's good. She's good peeps, like, good vibes. I like her. So Justine, she just wants to have the story about her. Like, I'm not down. So she pulls Rachel over for a chat. And, Rachel's saying that she's having trouble with the idea of struggling of sharing another guy with her and having she doesn't want to be doing that with someone that's her friend. And she really wished she would have had a heads up or like knew this was coming, and she didn't want to be sharing another guy with her. Why does Justine not see the point here? Please explain this to me. This whole situation is a big mug off. I'm so turned off of Justine. It's not fun.
I'm a Pisces, but there's nothing that Justine's doing that's making any sense to me either. So, I mean, especially I don't know. Justine doesn't peg me as a girl, like a Franzel, where she'll screw over girls in order to be good with the guys. She doesn't peg me to be that type of person. So I'm also too, because it was I think truly deep down she knew she was wrong on all fronts and is just in defense mode and is bringing up anything that she can think of in order to make her argument look better, but she doesn't realize from the outside. And I think if she takes a few days to think about it, reflect on it, she'll realize that she has no argument. But in the meantime, I think she just is in total defense mode. And that's what blocked me. All these bullshit excuses, I was like, no, girl, nope.
I have a theory.
What?
My theory is Justine is the type of girl that likes sloppy seconds. She doesn't find interest in a guy until someone she knows finds interest in them and already starts liking them, and that's all of a sudden it's a shiny new penny. But when
is that a trait in a person? You know people like that?
There's tons of people that only as soon as I used to have a friends when I was younger, for sure. If I started liking a guy, they would always start liking them right after me and then go in and try to take them from me, always. And so it's a terrible trait. But there are girls that do this. They just go in for your sloppy seconds because it's they don't have the confidence to start a relationship on their own. So they wait to see who's a good pick and then go in and take them while they're they're in something. It's very bizarre. It's not my jam at all, but
you could be right. I've never experienced, or I don't think I've ever seen that, but
keep your eye open for it now. You might go back and start thinking about maybe the fights that you had in your early 20s. In your early 20s, all you'd ever do is fight over guys, right? And there's just tons of girls that I found would just do that. You're starting to talk to a guy, then all of a sudden, you see them making out in the corner. What the fuck?
I'm gonna ask my friend Rachel about this. We've had the same friends for 12 years, so
I'm sure when you guys were younger that there was mix-ups and stuff like that.
I'm gonna ask her. I'm gonna be like, yo, do you have any sloppy second girls? That's weird. Oh, I mean, that's true because who was Trey? Trey was with Selly.
And then Johnny came in, took Selly. That wasn't really sloppy seconds because he didn't know them before.
Yeah, we'll get to this more in the end because I have things to say about the recoupling after.
Cool. Also, WTF, Justine is pissed. Justine is pissed and confused. She does not have any right to be pissed or confused. She caused this drama. I'm so not down.
It could have all been eliminated if she just communicated.
Yeah. And also, I just think that Justine wants things that she can't have. It's just the shiny new object syndrome. She wants what somebody else is. Or
she can have Trey.
Pardon?
She can have Trey.
But she doesn't know how to. I think that she just doesn't know how to be in a relationship with somebody. Or be the kind of girl, I think she just doesn't get it, doesn't know how to do it. And so she knows how to go in and try to snare the guy. But I bet you that it's not going to work out. She's going to do the same.
Clearly.
He's going to get fed up. And then she's going to be it's not moving like I thought it was going to. And then it's going to be the same thing. You watch. Okay. So then Lauren asked, Lauren asked Mackenzie to pull Connor. I'm so confused. Oh, right. Lauren asked permission from Mackenzie if she can go talk to Connor. Like, this girl, I mean, I get it, just a little bit of respect, you know, whatever. But it just, to me, it just was so embarrassing to like, what are you saying? What are you saying here, Jaquan? Let's see. So right now people are comparing Justine and Rachel. I mean, I think aesthetically, I think Justine is a more beautiful aesthetic look than Rachel. But right now I'm team Rachel because I think that they were friends. What do you think?
Personally, I think Rachel is prettier than Justine, but Justine lost me this episode. Like, I'm so team Rachel, no matter like what they look like. If just on paper, if I was reading the script, I would be like, what is this girl doing?
Absolutely.
Justine completely lost me.
I think all the Islanders need to communicate better because some of them could get to know other people than waiting until the last moment because they can't risk going home. That's another thing too that I think it's really gross to me.
Well, and I think that might be one of the only reasons why Justine pulled Trey aside for that previous convo.
That's the first one or the second one?
The second one.
Yeah. Let's see what else. I agree with you. When you're single, sometimes no one wants you until you get into a relationship. Yup. Right? Exactly. You want what they can't have. All of a sudden, you are less attainable. Like you're more desirable. And I think that's 100% what was kind of happening with Justine. So it's kind of, I think it's a combination then of that. It's like the guy becomes more desirable because he's less available. And, you know, you want your girls, like what's something that your girlfriend has, like, you know, you want that. She does. And she's been saying that she wants that. And so I think she was just like jealous. Oh, gross. I'm so mad. So when Lauren talks to Connor, he also gave her a little bit mixed messages again. And she's just like, what is going on with you? Like, she's like, just say something. Like, then it's like, oh, can I give you a hug? And she's like, yeah.
Sure.
I think she just doesn't know what to do with him. He's too much of a wuss. Wimpy.
And it was another mini therapy session, essentially.
Say again?
It was another mini therapy session.
Exactly. Maybe you need to see some like therapists on that show. And Are You the One? They have like counselors that they talk to sometimes. So
they need that for Love Island if they're gonna have guys this young.
Right? Yeah. And then they're gonna get out of the villa and they'd be like super famous and they're gonna be problematic. So Mackenzie says that she has trouble trusting Lauren. What do you think about that statement?
Mackenzie has trouble trusting everyone, so surprise, surprise.
You know,
I mean, I would have trouble trusting someone that walked into the house 24 hours before also, but she also has trouble trusting Connor, who's been in the house with her for 6-7 days now, so.
What's their...
Cry me a river. Like, what can you trust someone about so deeply when just meeting them?
Oh.
Nothing.
I don't know. He hasn't. I don't know. She's crazy. Okay, sorry. I don't want to say crazy because that's whatever. I think that she's just not a little bit.
I know what you mean.
She has a lot of work to do on herself that she's taking out on Connor.
Yeah, she has a lot of baggage.
A lot of baggage. Yeah.
Baggage through the baggage claim game were all Mackenzie's bags.
All of it. So Lauren actually directly asked what he's scared of, and he didn't really answer.
No, he kind of did. He said, I'm worried about how she'll react. Or he said something.
Who cares? That's a big pile of who cares to me. Like, who? Okay, I don't want people to get hurt. I don't want people's feelings to not be taken into consideration. Absolutely. But I just don't understand how people, especially men, can't understand by withholding how you really feel is going to hurt them more in the long run, because there's no way that it can ever fully work out if you are, from the day you've met, have been holding like this, hiding feelings and just like covering. Eventually you're going to blow. It always happens. And then they'll be like, oh my God, I didn't know. Like, I never saw this coming. Like, what? exactly like Chriselle, and friggin' what's his name? Justin from Selling Sunset. You watch it, right?
But I'm Team Chriselle.
But I think it's the same scenario, girl.
I don't know what happened with them though.
I mean, I think part of it that he got famous and like, you know what I mean?
Did you finish it?
Yeah, I didn't realize I had finished it. I saw the wedding already, so like I thought I wasn't.
Tell me Davina's not a raging biatch.
Say again?
Tell me Davina is not a raging.
Yeah, I'm not down with Davina. No, we don't like Davina.
Oh, no, I feel like we don't really know what happened. But yeah, other than he did get famous, I don't know.
But this is what I'm saying is that with why I'm pulling the similarities here is that it looks like she's so perfect on the outside, and you could tell that she has some insecurities on the inside. You know what I mean? And so I don't think that she would divulge the truth about whatever was going on in the relationship because maybe Justin has never told her. Justin's also an Aquarius, if I'm not mistaken, which means that they're not really great at being emotionally connected. They're usually direct, but maybe she's like, no, you don't mean that. Like, I think that they didn't really relate compatibly. And it's reminding me right now of potentially the situation with Mackenzie and Connor. I know you're Team Chriselle, but I'm going to find out some dirt because I think my friends worked with him in the acting world. And so I'm going to see if I can find the real tea.
Well, yeah, but I also heard that they don't even sell houses, so I'm a little bit hesitant about all of them now.
I want to hear more about that. We'll do that.
I'll tell you, yeah.
Justine pulls Caleb. Ugh. So when she pulled Caleb,
this combo was so pointless.
She was like, oh, wow, I really like stirred up some drama there, eh? I was like, you're proud of that?
She is so confusing.
Yeah, well, she's just not completely. She's fake honest. Like there's just so many things that are driving me crazy about her, and that is that she's being upfront and real, but she wants to find somebody, but she doesn't understand why the person that she was originally seeing that he saved. Wait, did she save him or he saved her in the other coupling because he thought that she was going to be like committed to maybe working towards something, and he's opening up to her. But then she says that it's moving slowly, which is her pace that she said, but she doesn't. She's not used to it moving this slowly with the guy, so she wants to like not really see the guy, like see him anymore. But then she wants to cuddle with them. But then she wants him to ask her to go swimming with them and do like datey coupley things, but he's like, no, I'm good. He wants to start looking up to somebody else. But then in bed at night, they're cuddling and like having like nighttime chats about like maybe like, you know, things that are emotionally centered or whatever about their real life and their real personalities. And then she goes and kisses her best friend in the islands guy and doesn't tell the guy that she's not seeing, but kind of seeing that she's going to do it, but she doesn't understand why he's upset about doing this. But then she talks to the guy that she kissed her best friend and doesn't know why her best friend is mad at her for kissing the guy because like she was in the Villa first and she already did that same thing to her, but she didn't actually do the exact same thing. And then she's proud of herself for stirring up some friggin' drama.
Go off, girl.
What the bleep?
I feel you.
Crackers, okay? Crackers.
I think it's the biggest plot twist of the whole season. I did not see that coming. I don't think anyone saw that coming.
And she puts it all under the guise of she hasn't been taking any chances. Like, God.
I know.
I just have to breathe a bit, and let's get to the other train wreck of a couple. Go back to Connor and Mackenzie. So Mackenzie wants a kiss. Connor wouldn't give her a real kiss, give her like a little peck, and she's like, "Oh, I wanted
a." Expecting more than that.
Exactly. And so he's like, how about a high five? I was like, if a guy I was dating said I want to give you a high five instead of like a proper kiss, I'd be
it's almost as bad as him calling me dude. Like, you call me dude, we're going to have a problem.
Like, not good, not good. He needs to. I said that he needs to like rid himself from this relationship. I'm like, this relationship sucks. I wrote it in bold. Got some more capital letters that I'm writing here. This relationship sucks, sucks, sucks. When they kissed though in the end after whatever he told, I don't even know what he said in the end. Oh, he read from his phone.
He read, yeah. He wrote something down because he said he felt like he couldn't get it across to her any other way.
He didn't even say anything.
I know. And then he read it, and then the way she reacted, he was like, "That's exactly the way I wanted you to react."
Like, what?
I'm like,
anything. And so then they kiss, and I was watching this kiss, and I was thinking in my head, I'm like, ooh, she is going to bang him tonight to get him ensnared.
She said, "I'm so excited for bedtime."
After I thought that, I was like, oh my God, like, she is going to get him in an entanglement. In the words of, what's her name? What's Will Smith? Jada Pinkett Smith. An entanglement. Have you seen that special talking about her and what's the rapper guy that she had an entanglement with?
No, I've only seen the Jordan.
No, so Jada Pinkett Smith.
Like the red table, that one?
Yeah. And so
no, I've only seen the one episode with Jordan
Woods. But no, she had this entanglement, as she keeps on calling it when they're talking about it, when she was still married to Will with this like younger rapper guy. And so it's become like a
she aired it?
Yeah, it's like a whole, what do you mean?
Wow, I'm gonna watch it.
Well, go watch, like, I forget, I'll have to find which rapper it is. I can't remember his name. But he has like a whole song talking about their entanglement in the sheets and all this shit and all this stuff. Like, they had this whole big affair or whatever, because like her and Will were supposed to be breaking up or whatnot. And so when her and Will were discussing the whole thing, she was like, it's entanglement, like, you know, very selective of her words, and be like, no, you had a friggin' affair that like maybe Will Smith didn't know exactly about, but you guys were not necessarily working towards a relationship at that point. But it's just funny because like
I need you to text me after this about Will Smith, and then I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna.
I don't know if I want to hear more. Oh gosh. Oh,
you do. I know you do. But you're gonna be mind blown.
So Jaquan saying, I think Trey is hurt because he knows if it was a guy's elimination this week, he would be going home. Absolutely. Absolutely. And like he saved her, like, to avoid her from having that experience. And like she's not really honoring that respect at all.
Everything Trey said from last week, like if he's gonna pick her, he's gonna go all in. And he's gonna put her first, and he's gonna make sure that he actually explores that relationship before doing anything else. And the fact that he's like
I bet you if Trey starts like getting on really well with Lauren, like she's gonna come back. Next time on Love Island, will Connor ever get out of the sunken place? No. He's in.
And you know what? No one's, even if they go to the end, no one's gonna vote for them. They might have a few like maybe like 20% of the vote, but
or I think that they might be like at risk. August, second place. August. I don't get it. Oh, August is the rapper. Okay.
Oh, really? I haven't even heard of him.
Is that it? I can't remember now. I think that makes sense. His name's August something. I don't know. I can't remember. Tell me more, Jaquan. I can't remember right now. Oh, I'm excited for bed tonight. Yeah, we know that you're going to ensnare him with your thighs. We get it. We've all done it. We can see through your bullshit. We know that you're trying to get him locked in emotionally and get him pussy whipped. Just saying. Right?
Right.
So Moira and Calvin are talking about PDA. What do you think about this conversation? Mug on or crack on or mug off?
Mug off. I don't know. They seem like best friends. I don't know.
Yeah, and she seems like she's trying to be cutesy and giggly.
You know what? And when going back to the car wash, I was like, why is she the announcer? Like, why has Moira not gone? Oh, that's right, because she has a bum knee. Oh, Why? We still don't know.
We do not know.
I'm so pissed about the knee. Tell us what happened. I want to know exactly what happened.
It must have happened on the last recap show. I'm going to finish watching that and see if it's there.
Okay, yeah. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't remember seeing it.
There's a clip on YouTube. Can find it maybe. So yeah, like I was kind of weird about them as a couple. Like
they just well, even in like the bed shots, like they're not cuddling.
But he said he's like, I don't necessarily like PDA, but maybe like a little kiss before bed. And so I was like, that just says to me he's just not that into her, unfortunately.
Or I don't know. He just seems like into everything. Like you could put him next to anyone and he'd be like that.
Maybe. But I would not want somebody that I just started seeing. Like, first off, you should be able to tell when somebody wants to. Like, it's just, you don't have to try to have PDA. It just happens because, like, you can't, like, it's
impulsive. Like, yeah.
It's just vibes. Like, I don't know if I've ever, like, been like, oh, I'm going to kiss him in public right now. It's just kind of like it just happens.
Yeah.
You know? So, I don't know. These people are weirdos. Weirdos. What am I talking about here? Okay, so Carrington and Lauren, he sort of friend zones her.
A bit, yeah. But I mean, I respect it.
I respect it. I do respect it that he was basically saying that he wants to work on things with Kirsten, and
I'm actually like I'm like when that happened, I was actually very surprised at how happy I was that he was friend zoning Lauren.
Look at you coming around on Carrington. It starts off with him being a military
or Kirsten, but
I think it's
both. I think it's both. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like them more than Connor and Mackenzie, more than Justine and Trey. So,
whatchamacallit? So I agree with this. So I don't see the chemistry between her and Caleb. Like, no, there's no chemistry between Justine and Caleb, in my opinion, at all. I didn't fully see any with Rachel yet either, but they've been together for what, a day?
And he said, I think in their conversation, he was like, I know we don't hang out all the time, but we're going to start needing to hang out all the time if we're going to get there, kind of thing. And so, yeah, well, we'll get into it later, but.
Hold on, so he's giving us the tea. So August was doing an interview with Angela Yee. So Jada did the Red Table Talk and used the word entanglement, that he made a song called Entanglement with Rick Ross. Yes. And it's talking about entanglement in the sheet, but like it's pretty like graphic and kind of like, woo!
I'm going to have to go on YouTube after this.
Yeah, watch it. It's just very...
You're gonna, when I tell you what I need to tell you, you're going to lose your shit.
Gosh, okay.
you don't even know what you think of it. Like you're gonna be like, what?
I have some ideas. So okay. So this is what I was thinking. Like, frig, all this stuff is going on. If what's his name is going back. So Calvin and Moira seem like they're okay. Like, I don't know, they're on their own little island. Carrington and Lauren are just had the friend zone talk. So Carrington and Kirsten are going to be like a thing. And then like Trey and whatever, I think just broke up. I was like, oh my God, does that mean that Johnny's going to fuck up and like he's going to make this even more messy? I was like, just starting to get worried because like I had so much faith in Justine being like a decent human being and I wanted the best for her. And the fact that like I can go so 180 for me caring what happens in her love life, that like I was like, oh my God, is Johnny gonna fuck up? So like I started to get worried for the recoupling ceremony. And so then Lauren makes everybody English breakfast. And there was I have a call out for you. Caleb says the English breakfast absolutely slapped the potatoes. So I'm thinking that this said he must be from your side of town with that terminology slap. Do we know that?
Yeah. It means it's good. Like if that slaps, it's bomb.
That's what I figured, but I heard him say it because
yeah, no, as soon as I saw it, I was like, damn, I just told Chantele that that's Bay Area slang. So I wonder. I don't remember where Caleb's from.
Is he from the Bay Area? Hold on, let's see. Where did I write this down? Oh my god, it's too many notes.
But yeah, no, that like when something slaps,
no,
like
Oklahoma City.
I don't know where you got. I don't know, but I know that's for sure like a Bay Area term, like from the hyphy movement. Like when something slaps, it's like Bay Area. So when he said that, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Oh, you noticed it. So I learned something new. I'm cool now.
Yeah, you did. No, because as soon as I said it, I was like, "Yeah, that was high school slaps." I was like, "Oh, that's also Bay Area." Sorry, Chantele. But
fine.
It sounds weird when like you just like randomly say it. But I've like a few times down here, I've noticed I've said that and people are like, "What?" Like, we're like 300 miles away. How do you not know what I'm talking about? But yeah, when he said that, I was like, "Oh, okay, go Caleb."
So maybe he's lived in the Bay Area. Maybe he's originally from, and right now he lives in Oklahoma City. Who knows?
Or like too, and when like for basketball, like when players go from the Bay to OKC or whatever, I know that like some slang gets taken back and forth. So I wonder too if like, well,
in other places.
Yeah, like I know for sure, like it can go back and forth.
You can go to college with somebody that's from, you know what I mean, a different part, and like just pick up on their slang. So,
or if you went to college elsewhere too,
college instead of university, I did that for you.
Thank you. I know uni. I like my whole family in England. Like I call it uni, and then here I'm like college.
College. Well, here college is a diploma, not a degree.
So it's like we call it JC here, junior college. Like it's a diploma, or well, you can technically get like an AA degree, but you can't use AA for anything really.
So yeah, if you want a bachelor's or bachelor of arts, bachelor degree of some sort, you have to go to university. If you want a diploma, college. So that's why it's also a little bit different. We're just like,
it's funny because like my school is like San Jose State University, but we call it college.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Weirdos over there in US of A.
I know, we're so weird.
So Trey gets a text. It's gonna be the recoupling ceremony. And I was wondering if, because Trey got the text, if he was going to be the one in the choosing position. I wasn't sure if it was going to be
That's what I thought too.
Or Caleb, but because he got the text, I thought it was going to be him. And right after that, that's where we see Miss Justine going to pull Trey. I was like, you're so transparent. It's whack. It's whack, 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 whack.
Agreed.
And like she wanted to still pursue Caleb, and Trey's saying it's fine. Do whatever you want. Like, why are you involving me in this? Like, you broke up with me. You stung me. Like, why are we having this conversation anymore? Like, why do you need to get your feelings out on the table and say what's going on? Like, he doesn't care anymore. You've lost that opportunity to have that from him, and she doesn't seem to get it. Like, what's your deal? Explain to me, Brazil.
Girl, I don't know. She's confusing me too.
Sucks.
The only thing you can think of is that she was trying to solidify a spot in the villa, but
like now all of a sudden, like she's like worried about her place in the villa. Like, get out of here! Like, gonna go pull Trey to make sure that he chooses her. Like,
no. That's why I think that not all Pisces are the same, because I do not know what the fuck she's doing.
I can picture Moira doing the exact same thing, to be fair.
Oh, I don't like either now. I'm like, eh.
It's the wishy-washiness, you know? Wishy-washy. They're malleable signs in the sense that like they're transient.
Right.
You know, like earth signs or Aquarius is a fixed sign, so like we're not going to be fluctuating necessarily if we make a decision. Another sense, either like going to be fixed. They're going to, I can't remember all the words. They're going to be, I can't remember right now. Cardinal is going to be like, the beginning, the instigators. So maybe you guys are mutable. I believe immutable means that they're kind of like transient in, their decisions, we'll say, or how they go about in the world. And so
Justine's going rogue though.
I don't know.
She went rogue.
Well, Pisces to me. Okay. So what I love that Trey said is like, if you do not understand my perspective, then you never will. And I think that is true because I feel like how he should be feeling, I think it's very clear. I don't think that it's cryptic. I don't think that it's out of uncommon, out of the ordinary. I think that with the lead up of events, like definitely warranted this response. And the fact that she's like surprised by it, like I think she's getting some sort of like ego boost that like people are caring. Like, is that what it is?
No, I don't know what it is, but it's not working. I feel like there's no way the girls are like telling her that. Then we'll get to that in a little bit, but I don't think there's any way that
if I was Justine and Brazil was Rachel, how would I have handled this situation? I am very blunt, and I would be like, hey, Brazil, okay, this is really awkward, but we're on Love Island and we're supposed to be kind of filling out, seeing how we interact with people. And I haven't gotten a chance to get to know Caleb. How would you feel if I started talking to him and just like see if there was actually anything going on there?
I would be so thrilled with the fact that you actually came up to me and said something. I mean, thrilled in the sense of like girl power, and I would have no choice but to respect that. Like, that's the name of the game of Love Island.
In real life, I would not even come near him, right?
Right. I mean, yeah, unless like
in real life, dude, as soon as you started talking to him, he'd be off limits. But in Love Island,
unless it was like a game like the roulette game, like when Moira kissed Connor, like very like PG. But that was like a forced situation almost. But if it came down to the point where you knew you were gonna kiss my guy before that car wash game, I know you would have said something.
Or even like right before I went, be like, please don't hate me. I'm gonna kiss Caleb, okay?
Well, that's what I mean, yeah, like right before, like you would have said something, not just like a woof, and then.
I wonder when the fans vote, does it really count, or does the producers do what they want? The producers do what they want, I'm sure.
This show, though, I feel more than others, does actually honor the fan vote.
Well, I mean, they're probably like, jackpot, they chose Connor.
I know. I wonder, Jaquan, did you vote for that date? I wonder who he voted for.
We both voted for Connor, as you probably know. I think a good concept for y'all show towards the end. Pick two Islanders who acted crazy and say how y'all reacted. Okay, I could do that. Okay. I mean, I feel like we're doing this the whole time, talking about how these people are not acting the same way we are. But okay, we can do that. That's fun. We'll write that down, actually. Reenact these idiots with Brazil. What else happened? These people are so annoying. So Trey pulls Lauren over. And I thought this was mature, but like I knew it was because of the fact that like it was a recoupling that was happening that he pulled her over, and he kind of just warned her, which is pretty normal, that he was probably going to pick her. And I think that she was fine with that because she wants to stay in the villa, and Justine is a mess.
Before he pulled her over, I legitimately like had a feeling. I was trying to figure out who might be going home, and Lauren was definitely top of my list. Like, between her and Justine, I was like, I don't know who's going to go home. Like, I was trying to figure out who would couple up with who. And, yeah, we'll get into it, but the speeches made it very vague. Like, it could have gone either way.
So Rachel, Kirsten, and Moira were talking, and Rachel said that she wants to take a step back from her friendship with Justine, and I think this is more than justified. I preach loyalty hard, big time. Like, that's just like my number one currency in my entire life. If I'm playing any competition reality games, my currency is loyalty. You break my loyalty, it's gone. And so that is what I feel that Justine has done to Rachel, regardless if it's within the context of the game. Without being upfront and open with her, I feel that it breaks the loyalty factor with Rachel, and she can't get past that. I would never be able to get past that. I just played an online game, Sequester, and this girl stabbed me in the back, and she was like, oh, can we get past this? This is just a game. And I was like, I can get over this, but like, this is part of your personality to me. And like, I couldn't, you're dead to me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm over it, but like, I'll never forget it. And I would never allow you to do that to me ever in a game again. I would never trust you. And I would never let anybody else I cared about in a game trust you. Even this one girl that I'd only met that first time for that night, who stabbed me in the back, that told me that was just a game. Like, I would not let them to have the opportunity to do that to me again. And so that means that I wouldn't be able to let her into a friendship with me. And I understand 100% how Rachel's like, you could do this to me in the context of this house without having any respect for their friendship, by just having a little bit of a conversation beforehand, that this is part of your personality. This means that this would happen again. This means that we can't be friends. It's not something that Rachel can get over. I couldn't get over it. Could you get over it?
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Mm-hmm. And exactly that. I would never, and just like I'm saying, like, don't let them tell you no, they don't want you twice. Don't let someone screw you over twice. Like, no way.
Know your worth. Know your worth. Know that you're better than that. Know that you can find friendships and people that will work in your benefit better than that. Exactly. Any time where I'm like friends with someone and it's like taking effort on my part to like really make it work, that's when I already kind of be like, it's not really worth it. I feel like friendships just kind of come naturally, and no matter what, you wouldn't want to betray them or do something to hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have to defend yourself in that sense, it's kind of a moot point. So
exactly. It's just the fact that Justine doesn't see what she did was wrong, or like doesn't see how she did.
And I think she will when she's out of the house. There's 100% guarantee that she will be able to reflect and be like, whoa, I fucked up, but I don't think it'll happen until she's out of the situation.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't know if she actually has that emotional depth. I'm not sure. So Sally and Justine were talking. So Sally's definitely still team Justine. And she does say that she didn't see a spark between Rachel and Caleb. We kind of talked about that as well. We didn't really see a spark between Rachel and Caleb.
They really didn't let us see anything.
It's true.
They didn't let us see that there wasn't a spark. They didn't let us see that there was. Like, it. I honestly feel a little robbed of that relationship, because I didn't really get to form an opinion on it because I didn't see anything of it.
Me too.
But I trust Sally's judgment, obviously.
Yeah, I do, and maybe that was just Sally's way to saying like it's not good, it's going to be okay. Because she never really said like what you did was right, but I think she was saying like, well, I don't see a spark between Rachel and him, so like, okay, it might not be that bad in the end. Maybe, I don't know. I wasn't sure what she was saying there. So Carrington does tell Lauren though that he wants to get to know her, so that's good that he has kind of made a clear decision that he's able to speak his words and tell her that he likes her enough to want to get to know her more. Like, thank you, Carrington. Manned up a little bit. Rachel and Caleb have a little combo, and then I was like, oh shit. And so they're talking kind of about how they don't hang out that much, because she has been letting him pursue Justine. Now, how do you feel about Rachel kind of throwing in the towel here and allowing Justine to kind of swoop in?
I didn't like it. I think if she would have been more assertive, it would have came off a little bit different to Caleb, but it did seem like she was just kind of giving up. And I think she was trying to say that so he would say something back to her that would maybe comfort her or, make her a little bit more confident in their relationship, but he didn't really give her much. And from what the maybe 2-minute reel of Caleb that I do know, it doesn't seem very concrete. Like, he just seems to be kind of like, like going either way. Like, he doesn't really. So again, it's hard. Like, I want more edits of him, and I want more edits of their relationship, because it's hard to talk about and it's hard to judge without really knowing. I know more about every other couple than them.
Absolutely. And I think that's also like it just was pretty fresh and pretty new. And like, I mean, it would be kind of awkward if like your friend in the house decides to start pursuing the guy that you were kind of just started dating a little bit. Like, it just makes things awkward if you guys are not at the stage where like you were really like already all over each other and stuff like that. So it's just, I get where she's coming from, but then it also would say that maybe they do not have the compatibility or like they don't have the vibe, or else would be able to find time to spend with each other if that was going to be the relationship that was going to work out, we'll say. I don't know. Oh, I didn't like that conversation between them. So Caleb and Justine also have another conversation when he folds out the towel for her to sit on. And I'm just like, I wrote down, I'm like, I actually turned to dislike Justine. I can't believe that it went this way in one episode. In like 45 minutes, I went from loving Justine and like wanting the best for her to really just disliking her actions in this villa on this episode.
And how she handled the controversy was so... Ugh.
She was like, it's kind of like she got power from like the confidence.
Yeah, like she got like this like false ego almost.
It's so weird. Who's this? Realist answers. I hope Justine doesn't have those feelings because she actually did nothing wrong. She played by the games of Love Island. Justine has actually done great. What are your thoughts on that, Brazil?
I think the only reason why it's hard for me to see that point is because from all we've been shown is her being very careful and her being very, kind of pushing Trey to the side, not really cuddling with him, not giving him anything. And then she kind of goes balls to the wall for this other guy without telling anyone. And I think there is an element of girl power and, wanting to stay true to your friends in there because, again, this does come down to America's vote. And just based off of the votes I saw on the app, I don't believe that America thinks that Justine is in the right in this situation. I think just from the clips we've been shown, it's hard for me to side with her because, and I don't know if whoever this is has watched all of the episodes, but I've been Team Justine from the very beginning. And it was just very hard for me to see her kind of spiral like this because I think if she would have handled it just a little bit differently and communicated better, then we wouldn't feel this way. But she just kind of went into defense mode and tried to play the victim a little bit when she doesn't really have the case to.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Brazil. I do. I mean, I totally see where this person is coming from. It is Love Island. You're supposed to go after the guy that you want. Yeah, I get that for sure. But there's also a level of like human decency and consideration that I would just expect with anybody interacting with another human being in this world. And so for her to be acting that way to someone that's supposed to be her friend and not having like the respect that she would be expecting from somebody else coming towards her, I can't really get behind her stabbing her friend in the back, basically. Even if they're going to work out in the end and they're going to be the best couple on the planet, like that, like I want the best for her. Like kudos, she did what she needed to do. I just think that the manner at how she went about it, I think that was really distasteful, and it just left me disliking how she makes her choices, not the choices that she felt was necessary for her to make for herself.
I have a question though. Like, would we be feeling the same way if it was a boy in her position?
So if the boy didn't tell his friend?
Because I think that's one thing now I'm kind of maybe starting to think of, like, this person's right in the sense that like she's playing Love Island, like that's how the game should be played. You're 100% correct.
No. But you also brought in the fact that there's going to be an audience vote. And if the audience is on your side, that is not playing Love Island correctly because you want to get to the end with a person that you are in love with or in a couple with, that America is respecting and is on your side and wants you to win that money. So if she's not really playing the game 100%, if she's not thinking about how the audience is going to be perceiving her, in my opinion.
That's true. I just hope it'd be the same if it was a boy.
Like, if it was a guy, but guys don't relate that same way. Like, I think I could see guys being pissed off, but you saw even in the beginning when Johnny took Selly from Trey. Then after man, he's like, sorry, man, I would have said something, but like didn't have the chance to like talk to you about it first. You know what I mean? Like he had to go and take her beforehand. So they do seem to have that unspoken, like, hey man, like I want to chat to this person like beforehand. There's something in the people in this villa, anyways, the guys, that I think they would say something if they were going to talk to someone else's girl. We'll see what happens though next week when it's all reversed, right?
Yeah. No, but I appreciate the input. I mean, that's definitely a good point.
Do you think this is true? I do.
I do, yeah.
He was trying to get Justine out of the villa, 100%. Especially when he went to go pull Lauren over to chat in the little gazebo. I was like, he wants Justine gone. Like he wants to punish Justine, and I understand why he'd want to do that for sure. What's happening?
Yeah.
Yes, Caitlin was saying her and Johnny conversation was too deep. That's why they probably didn't show their conversation. Okay,
but that makes me happy that like Johnny didn't just pick Caitlin like off her looks. Like the conversation didn't match both ends. So
I think the deeper conversations are that they don't show because even when Johnny and Selly was chosen to go away, they didn't show their conversation about their lives. Sure. Of course, yeah. I mean, they're filming for 24 hours a day and we're getting like a 1 to 2 hour edited version of like at least 24 hours of content. So of course, we're not going to see everything. And the producers are going to be telling a story that they want to be telling to usually direct the narrative for the audience. So I work in film and television. I get there's always going to be a storyline, and they take all the footage and they try to make their story. So this is the story that they want to tell right now, is that Justine didn't play by girl code. That's the story. But we'll get to that. We'll get to what happens next. So many questions, so realistic answers, because she can see that Trey has zero romantic interest in her. And he doesn't. It's true. He literally doesn't like black women. I don't know about that. America probably doesn't know about his tweets, etc. Trey was going to leave her.
I'm interested to see what his tweets are then that make this person think.
So
I wonder if the tweets are in relation to him not liking black women, or if
maybe like he has exes and like maybe his exes were tweeting or something like that. I'll do like a little bit of a look. I mean, I don't know if I can say that to be 100% true. I think that the black women that have been in the house and him have not vibed necessarily. I don't think I would personally be into the vibe that Justine was giving off. And I didn't feel like the vibe that Justine was giving off matched the vibe that Trey was giving off. So I do agree.
Well, and it's hard for us because like all we see is Justine kind of break up with him, and then they show clips of her trying to cuddle with him or do whatever. So for me as a viewer, it's very confusing to see her angle, because from all I know is that she broke up with him and then now she's trying to cuddle with him. When she wasn't even trying that before. And even if she was, we're not seeing it. So,
and also though, just to that point as well, is that I do find, like, this is a blanket statement, so don't come for me, but a lot of black women, the character type that Trey was apparently before he was on the show was this athlete that was just like sleeping around with different women. And I would assume that most confident black women are not going to be attracted to that kind of vibe. I've dated one like football player, and like it was the biggest mistake I've ever made in my entire life. And I probably wouldn't do that again. And like it might be that I generalize now that like I'm not going to date some black football athletes a little bit, but like I definitely will have my guard off if I see somebody that has that player kind of mentality. So that could be another thing too, that how he interacts is not really that appealing to me as a black woman. And I could see that not being appealing to many other black women. So not sure. I'll take a look at his tweets though. Oh boy, somebody's so chatty. The audience perspectives I can agree with, but she would be dumped and had she not went for Kayla because Trey is more attracted to Lauren.
I don't know. I feel like if Justine would have been all in on Trey, like even in the beginning of the week, Trey said that he was not going to go for Lauren because he respected Justine, and he pointed at the seat that she was sitting in the lounge chair when he was talking to Johnny and Sally. So I think that's hard to argue, because I think if Justine would have given him more, then Trey might have stayed loyal to her. Because I didn't see Trey really making an effort with Lauren until him and Justine went downhill.
Until she broke up with him, basically. Like, he was
And he was shocked. He even said, he's like, I'm moving at your pace. And he could tell he was so upset.
I could see that Trey was working hard on Justine. I think Trey would have stayed with Justine because it seems as though maybe he's just there to play the game and get to the end and win the money. And so he felt as though that if he picked Justine, Justine would be a loyal person to him and they could go to the end together. And you know what I mean? Like, they wouldn't have to worry about people coming in. His head won't be turned. He's going to focus on this relationship. Maybe that's what he was doing. Maybe he was never really that into her, but he wants to get to the end and win. Maybe.
And I was team that. Like, I thought that was going to happen and you didn't. Like, and you ended up being right. But, like, I was, like, pretty hopeful in the fact that they would work out. But all the edits that we saw were that Justine was not cuddling with him in bed. They weren't really kissing. He went in for a kiss. She kind of, like, joked with him about it. Like, there was no chemistry there that I saw. And if there was, I think that Trey would have stayed with her. I could be wrong, but that's my personal opinion.
Word that a little bit, you know what I mean? I think that she also wanted to stay in the villa for her own reasons. Okay, this is getting like spicy. Hold on, let's see. He said he does not want to have children with a Black woman and wants mixed children. I mean, I come from a mixed family, so I can understand that. Like, I mean, I don't know if that's considered that he doesn't like Black women because he potentially would want to have.
I think it shows that if that truly is how he feels, then that he wouldn't end up settling down with one then.
But when I say when people do that, I think it's also because of the climate of America and that people that have darker skin tend to be treated more poorly than people with lighter skin. Even my grandmother, she's super, super, super fair skinned. And she likes me because she likes my skin tone, but she doesn't like my brother as much because he's a little bit darker than me. Didn't like my dad because my dad was dark, but my mom is super white. She's half. And so, you know, within the Black culture, like having fair skinned children or fair skinned relationships, like it is a thing. And so I wouldn't be surprised if that might be part of his reasoning, is how he has been treated in the world as like a dark-skinned man, that maybe he didn't want to have his children be thought of in the same way. My mom, because she's super light, she's from Jamaica. When she came to Canada, when she was in high school, she was made fun all the time because she's really super, super pale, really fair skin. Like she just doesn't look white, but she could pass for white. And people used to call her, no offense to anybody here, but they used to say like, Packy, you Packy, and like used to like beat her up on her for her skin color and calling her all these different names. And she made a promise. She's like, I want to marry the darkest man that I can find, so that my children's skin color would be a really nice golden tone. And so she's always loved my skin color because of the fact that she, you know what I mean? She's like, my dad's dark, and like she likes the goldenness of my skin color. So I understand where you're coming from, that might look like she doesn't want to date Black women, but it could also be by how he's been responded to as a Black man in the United States, and that he may not want that for his children as well. That's just part of a different conversation, I think. All he said is I want a mixed baby, man. Like, they're freaking cute. Like, I do. I think they're cute, and they're actually like, you know, I like the idea of mixing different worlds. I've dated people from all across different countries. Like, I've dated every single background and race. So I would like to have mixed children. So I don't know. But if I didn't, obviously, I love any child that I have. I agree. The editing is very calculating. My theory is that CBS wants to spin the narrative that they casted a colorist. Ooh. I hope not, because CBS is under a lot of
trouble right now. So
for like being super, super, super have a lot of racial biases.
Well, and I see your point too.
Yeah, I do see your point as well. I'm just trying to kind of put the other side perspective as well. I can see him. Maybe he is that way, but I think that there could be a bigger reason as to why he might be having that response to wanting to have mixed children.
Like an underlying, like innate kind of.
Yeah. America is judging the Islanders based off what they have done outside the island. They just need to focus on the show. I can see that too. We kind of brought that up last day, a couple days ago, with Johnny and like his ex-girlfriend and stuff like that. So we were kind of loosely judging him on that, but I think that we've been giving him a fair shot still, allowing him to prove himself within the island.
It's just hard when you're hoping that the outcome at the end of this is like an actual relationship and love being formed. And so it's kind of hard to not take what you're seeing, how someone, does something on the outside, and then thinking of exactly how they are going to be when they leave the villa. So I think it's hard to kind of separate the two, but I think you're right, Jaquan, that, and I've been having an open mind with Johnny, but I've still been, kind of preparing myself for the worst in case.
Right. I mean, I like knowing more information. I like knowing the gossip. I will look up these tweets just to see, so I can have my own opinion of, the tone that it's in, and just decide on what I think that means. That's what I hope what his intention was. That would be the smartest move. What are we talking about? Don't remember. Thanks for your elaboration on your family. It gives more perspective of why I brought up his tweets. There were more that were very indicative of his tone. Yeah, no, I totally will take a look at it. Like I don't discredit what you're bringing up. I do think that even on television in general, and especially these reality shows, I do find that the people of color have the hardest time finding connections within the villa. It seems, especially the Black women, do not seem to find a match for them. Both these women they're gorgeous women, and they have great personalities, and I think that they are both catches. And so the fact that they're having the most difficulty being able to connect with somebody, we have to realize that not all Black people are attracted to each other. Like, that's just a fact. Like, as all white people are not attracted to each other, and all like everybody's just not attracted to each other. It just so happens, though, that I've noticed that the Black women in these reality shows have the most difficulty finding a connection. And so I think that's also something that we're recognizing here, is that Trey and Justine didn't match. And maybe Trey is more attracted to Lauren, but it's because not all Black people necessarily are attracted to each other. It's just a thing.
And I think that's another thing that people have to remember.
It's like, just because they're Black doesn't mean they like each other. Like, it's
I'm not a huge fan of white boys. Like, that's
right.
I tend to go for everything, but people don't remember that either.
Well, like for me, like my friend will be like, "Oh my God, you got to meet my friend! Like you guys would get along so great." And like the only thing that we have in common is the fact that he's Black. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll meet him, but like that doesn't mean I'm gonna like him. Like,
yeah, and I think at least the conversation's starting.
Yeah,
but there's a long way to go.
What's this? Some people in your life for a season, some for a reason. That's true too. I mean, I think that Justine is maybe learning something about herself, and if she has a lot of growth after this, like I'm going to be very happy that she had this experience. I think that she will learn maybe to deal with things differently. This might be the first time that she's in a villa type situation where she has to go for what she wants. And, maybe she's always the one that steps back and allows people to move forward, and she doesn't take those chances. Fine. She's gaining her empowerment. Cool. I just would have wished that she had just talked to her friend beforehand and didn't make it seem so calculated and kind of shitty.
At least show that you're loyal to your girls. Or like show something, at least like don't gaslight Trey, but then she at least like told Rachel like what was coming. Like she didn't do either. And so it was hard for me to be Team Justine when she screwed over the girls and she was kind of being very confusing with Trey. It's like, how are we supposed to be on her side?
Exactly.
Like no matter what she looked like, no matter who she was, like I think I would have felt the same way.
Yes, and I'm completely fine with people not being a monolith. I just wish these shows would do a better job of casting people who
yes, that's
100%.
what we talked about in the first episode.
Absolutely. We totally went on about this. It's just like everybody that's coming onto these shows need to be attracted to everybody and have experience of having open-minded of like not only dating a certain background, like especially women of color that have darker skin colors that are kind of painted in society as being less attractive. Like you need people that want that find these women more attractive in general, just so there's more of an opportunity for them to find a connection. Yeah, we talked all about this in, I think it was our first chat about Love Island.
Yeah, absolutely, 100% agree with you.
Hundo. I've always been like, oh, I'd love to go on one of these shows, and I'm like, oh, but there's no way that they would find someone that's going to be a match for me. You know, never.
And that's what they're doing wrong.
Right? That'd be so fun. I think like a lot of Islanders was having trouble in their relationships outside the villa. That's the reason for joining the show for sure. Especially in like Are You the One? They were people that weren't great at finding matches in the outside world, and so that's how they kind of lured them in. I'm sure the casting call was like, "Are you in a relationship? Do you want to be? Do you want to have a new experience on an island? Like, join up for love." I mean, they probably didn't call it Love Island. They probably just made it a dating show type thing, and it became Love Island after the fact because I think they wanted to see if they got real people that were interested in love. So they probably didn't announce what show it was. But yeah, I think it's people that were looking for a relationship. I do think that everybody in here was looking for a relationship or has had troubled relationships in the past.
Or just, something to work on in general.
Mm-hmm. Who are you guys voting tonight? Who are you hoping is dumped?
Wait, so don't spoil anything. I'm on Pacific Standard Time. So
I'm on until 9 though.
What time is it now? Oh, it's 3:42. Well, 6:42. Who am I hoping is dumped? I'm hoping
right now it's Justine and Caleb right now.
So how are they going to do it then? Are they going to have just one whole couple dumped?
Or maybe do you think they're going to be dumped immediately, or do you think they're going to have like stay in the island for a bit and then have another recoupling? Because like they haven't had enough time. Like Caleb's been in there for 2 days.
Well, I know that we're all voting. I don't know.
I'm not sure yet. Right now, I'm not happy with Justine, but I do understand that she does deserve to have a chance. So
I think she deserves a chance with Caleb because she has come out. She seems to have come out of her shell with Caleb. She full on made out with him. I want to see at least a day of edits of them two together because we saw nothing with Rachel and Caleb. So I want to see something. But other than that, I ideally want Mackenzie to go and Connor because with Mackenzie still being there and Connor going with someone else, I don't think that will ever work. So I think like until both of them go,
Connor and Mackenzie might go because like I don't know if America likes them.
I don't think look at America already picked Connor to go on a date with Lauren.
Maybe the 2 bottom couples, and then the Islanders have to pick one from each of the couples to go.
Maybe. So I think the bottom couples would be Trey and Lauren and Jesse and Caleb, or Mackenzie and Connor. Those 3. One of those 3 is going.
Or a combination of the people within them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I don't know if it's a couple or if it's.
Well, do you know sometimes they do that, and then it's like the bottom 2 couples, and then like, okay, now the choice is up to you couples. Like,
right. Yeah. There's been times where they kept one boy and one girl from each couple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know. But I would say out of those 6 people, I think 2 of them are going.
Yeah, for sure. So I think the Islanders are going to learn a lot from their time in this show, from their own relationships and the other people in the villa, and take it outside in the outside world. Absolutely. Like I followed the people from Love Island UK, and they totally they still hang out, they still talk to each other. Like a lot of them are still in relationships with each other. Some of them have gotten married. Like, so, I think that this does, if you meet your match in there, it's such like a pressure cooker, and like you 2 have experienced this world together, that sometimes it forms a really, really strong bond that nobody else can really penetrate. Like it's like they've experienced something so.
And even if they don't end up with someone, I think the show still kind of puts them in vulnerable situations where they have to kind of go to those dark places that they don't want to. But yeah, I think no matter what, like I think everyone that goes into the show ends up leaving knowing more about themselves than when they came in. So
absolutely, and I would hope so. And like that's like I think for me that's what I enjoy, seeing the journey in a relationship.
I love the character arc. I love it. It's my favorite. Yeah.
So I need to go back and look at your previous chats. Love your responses. Well, thank you. You're bringing up some really great questions, and so and really great perspectives. Like this is why we do it. We talk about the show because we enjoy it, but it does bring up real life things that you don't necessarily get an opportunity to talk about because it's so taboo, and like you shouldn't say this, you shouldn't say that. And so thank you for bringing up things for us to chat about because you make us think about our own biases and how we look at situations. So thank you.
Thank you, Realist Answers.
It could be a split vote or a whole couple. Both ways have been done before. Exactly. Yeah.
So I think it'll be out of the 6 people. I think it'll be Trey and Lauren, Justine and Caleb, or Caleb and Mackenzie.
Thanks, Shaquan. Yeah, you should go back and watch their videos. I highly recommend it. Our biggest fan.
I know, Jaquan, you're a real one.
Thanks, Jaquan. For health reasons, Mackenzie needs to go home. Yeah, that level of mental instability isn't something I enjoy seeing. Absolutely. She needs to speak to someone. Absolutely.
That's what we were talking about before, that we think she's got a lot of baggage and a lot of unpacked things that she needs to confront in order to be
a
healthy partner in a relationship.
Maybe that's why, he's afraid to kind of step away from her because maybe.
And I would be the same too. I'd be kind of like, I don't want to exacerbate like.
Well, not take this to like a super negative spot, but like I had a friend who would always kind of threaten suicide when they were like they needed to speak to me. I'm really upset. And they would always have that hovering over me, and it's a very interesting emotional manipulation where it's like, of course I don't want that to happen to them, but then they get me looped into this web of and I can't be that only person that saves you from this moment. I want to be there for you, but I'm not emotionally equipped to be able to help you through this every single time that you're in this state. You need to speak to somebody that is a professional for this type of thing. And I think that he's scared of her. Maybe I don't think she's going to do that, of course, but it's like that emotional instability that we're speaking about here, that he's afraid of tipping her off the edge. And now I'm kind of seeing it maybe that's where he's like.
And that's what all the guys keep saying, that Connor's the nicest guy there. He's, and so I think that plays a role in it too.
If we were voting paper couples and the couple is splitting up, no. And the elders choose who deserves to stay more than within the.
That's happened before. Oh wait, hold on. Oh no, what? No. Because then what? We'd be choosing between Johnny and Sally and
Kirsten and Carrington, I guess.
Yeah.
No. I don't think they'll do that.
Or Connor Mackenzie. I don't know. From what America shows, it's like everyone's team Connor, but as
I don't think it's the favorite couples yet.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I don't know. Yes, I agree. I watched them on UK and Australia on websites. Mostly every couple I chose one or was a runner-up. Yeah, exactly. Me too. Except for Amber. Did you watch that one, UK, with Amber and Mike? I think it's 5.
I'm not good with names. I'd have to see them.
UK 5. Amber, the mixed black girl, curly hair. Mike, the black firefighter.
No.
Watch that.
Season 5?
5.
Okay.
Yeah. Last summer. Okay, sorry if I missed your earlier conversation, but what are your feelings towards Lauren? I feel like she's been condescending towards Mackenzie's mental well-being.
So what I said about Lauren, the first day she was in the villa, I said I thought it was a good test as to what's going to happen in the outside world. I see what you're saying in the sense that she's been condescending because when she went up to the balcony to grab Connor for the date, she was kind of mocking her, kind of what the F is going on, that kind of thing. So I see what you're saying. But as someone just coming into the villa and someone being much older and much more confident than pretty much everyone else there, I can see why she had that attitude. However, back then, I don't think it was very apparent. Like until like now, maybe like the last couple episodes, it's been pretty apparent that there's something else going on with Mackenzie. But I've been saying that we're not seeing why everyone is scared of Mackenzie, and I think it might be because people are nervous
of an emotional
health. Yeah. So, and I've been saying that. I think that we're missing something, and I think that might be it. They might be like, of course, they're seeing things that we don't see, of course. So, I don't know. I can't. But it's so hard for me to blame Lauren like wholeheartedly because I don't like that. Just that one day, her coming into the villa and how she was acting towards her. She doesn't know anything about Mackenzie. She hasn't lived with her yet.
Yeah, exactly. I think that it's hard for me to say that Lauren was specifically being condescending. I think first off, Lauren's already older, so she's going to have an air of confidence that Mackenzie does not have. And I think that how she was coming off Mackenzie was juvenile in maybe Lauren's eyes. And so maybe even for us, we were in the beginning, we're a little bit more like, oh my God, like relax, like who cares? Like, but now that we're starting to get her a little bit more, we're kind of opening up the discussion towards like, okay, maybe this is a deeper issue than her just being insecure. Okay, why is she being insecure? Like, why does she have all this baggage? We're kind of giving her a little bit more of a history to make her understand why she's doing these things. But coming in, she's just acting like a jealous girlfriend, and that's just throwing a tantrum for no reason. You know what I mean? And so
I know that's what we said, I think, in the beginning. Like, I don't think she's always looked this way. And I think she maybe had, she was insecure before and then, had whatever augmentations done and is still feeling that insecurity for whatever reason. But it's showing through. And I think that's kind of why I've started to be a little bit more empathetic towards her, like, especially the last episode. And because I think Connor's gaslighting her. So I don't fully blame her for how she's reacting.
100%.
And as far as Lauren knows, he's hearing what Connor's telling her, which, as we know, is the exact opposite from what he's telling Mackenzie. So I blame Connor in this situation, not necessarily Lauren.
Right. And with Lauren too, like if I came in and like they've been in the house for like 3 days and this girl was like acting this way in front of me, like I would probably be a little bit like, what's
going on? Yeah.
I'm going to act like that. Like I would be coming off as the bigger person, which could look as condescension. I think that it might be different though, as they get to know each other. Even though I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Mackenzie's going to allow them to become friends in any capacity. But if that were the case, I can see that down the road that Lauren will have more compassion towards Mackenzie. I think that right now is just too fresh. Like it was just like, it was our first impression of her, and she was coming off childish kind of to me, if it were me, before I got to know her. Yes, emotional manipulation. In a sense, I feel like Trey tried to do that with Justine, and I feel like Connor is an enabler, absolutely. But like you kind of stare, absolutely.
And we were trying to like decipher like, why is he so scared? Why is everyone so scared of her? But it totally makes sense if like, she's got, if anyone else can sense that like she's like unstable mentally, that would be a big reason for me to kind of like walk on eggshells around someone and try to make sure that, like they're kind of comfortable, but at the same time that is enabling. But what are you supposed to do in this situation? It's a vacuum. Like, so it's, I feel for Mackenzie. I really do.
That Trey tried to emotionally manipulate Justine. I think it's the opposite. I think Justine was trying to emotionally manipulate Trey more.
I think in the beginning, maybe like I could kind of sense him like pressuring her a little bit, but not really. Like he was kind of saying like I'll go at your own pace. But like when he was deciding between her and who was he deciding between?
Caitlin.
Yeah. So he was kind of saying like, I don't know. I think the boys had a lot to do with that decision too, like their input. But I could see back then maybe, but as of late, I think definitely Justine's been the one gaslighting him, and I don't know. Again, it could be the editing. Like
Yeah.
Maybe she had been cuddling with him, but all they show is her breaking up with him and then her cuddling. And so it's hard for me to think that she's not in the wrong a little bit.
Yeah, Jaquan, I don't think she's seen the season. So Amber Gill is the girl that I was talking about. But yeah, she hasn't seen the season yet. You need to see the season so you can have.
I haven't. There's probably like 70 episodes.
So. Like 56 or so, I think.
Oh God, yeah, I'll try.
Yes, calling her babe and saying it's just a chat, but in reality, a simple chat can get you dumped if the person takes interest. I don't know. Like we were also saying before that it's Love Island, and that's what she's there to do. She didn't ask to be put in a situation where she's going to go and talk to everybody's significant others. Sally, how she reacted, she has a lot to lose as well, and she didn't throw the same kind of fit when Johnny was going. She might be feeling the same way on the inside, maybe, but she didn't show it, and so. I think the confidence level is what's missing from Mackenzie that Sally has. And so I could be like, babe, it's just a chat. Like, I'm just talking to him to see if there's anything there. Yes, it could get them dumped from the island, but it is the name of the game, the name of the show. And I don't know. What do you think about this?
It can go both ways. I don't know.
I think that maybe she's being condescending, but like, I'm also... She was put in that particular situation. Like, couldn't you see Mackenzie walking in there again if it was reversed? We'll say.
And wait, she's talking about Justine.
Pardon?
Are they talking about Justine though?
I think they're talking about Lauren being condescending.
I thought it was Justine.
I think we're talking about babe. It's just a chat. Talking about Justine when?
Because she said. Or this person said about Trey being condescending towards Justine. No? No, I could be wrong.
Trey was being emotionally manipulative with Justine, but I think that this is responding to Lauren being.
Okay. Sorry, no, I thought we were still on. Okay, no, yeah.
Well, we was talking, and then he was responding to something that we were talking on before he, after he responded to something else. And so I think that the babe, because Lauren said, babe, it's just a chat to Mackenzie. So this is why I'm assuming that, he's defending Mackenzie or her being condescending. But I just.
Okay. I'm there.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think also it's just like part of a culture difference. Like, I feel like I have a lot of family in the UK and I'm half British. Like, I feel like that's just kind of how like my cousins talk. Yeah. And they're also very just like matter of fact. And I think that I'm not defending Lauren in this situation necessarily, but I think that she doesn't see anything wrong with it per se.
Sure. So Jake Cohen says the same thing. Babe is using slang for girls. They say it all the time in Geordie Shore, Love Island, UK.
Yeah.
And 100%, like my family's from London too. They say babe all the time.
Yes.
Babe can be considered for sure condescending in the United States. Or North America, we'll say, but
to someone that's not all there, like for whatever reason, like they could take it the wrong way, like, or to see it as like someone talking down to them, or someone that's never met anyone from the UK. Like, I could see that seeming like it's kind of, looking down on them. I don't know.
He said he's talking about Lauren being condescending. What else do we got? Thanks for coming on, Realist. I like your perspectives on how you watch the show. Yes, I love it. We're supposed to talk about Big Brother after this. We're on 2.5 hours. Oh my God.
Oh, I don't even want to go to talk about Big Brother.
We can talk about Big Brother tomorrow. Who cares?
No, I mean we can, but I'm just so sad.
I know. I feel like Trey was trying to act as if he was hurt by Justine's choice, but really it was just Juice's ego. I think it's a combination.
I think so too, and I've been giving Trey a pass because I felt so strongly about him in the beginning that he was just kind of like his go-to was like, let me get a kiss, and he was like trying to kiss everyone. I only started to warm up to him because he was warming up to Justine, and so I think I got a little bit blinded by the fact that I never thought that Justine would be the one to flip on him. And so when that happened, I wasn't prepared for it. And so
Agreed.
I don't know. But I think if Justine just handled it like a little bit differently, and I think in her head she thinks that she handled it correctly, and there could be things that we're not seeing, like, so it's hard to say, but
I think also, like, I believe, yes, his ego was bruised a little bit, for sure. Like,
yeah, 100%.
Dumped on national television. And then,
the car wash, like, she literally didn't pick who she's coupled up with and kissed someone else.
And didn't let him know, and everybody thought that they were going to pick him. Like, that's, like, it's embarrassing. Like, that's, like, rude. You know what I mean? So I can understand why his ego is bruised. I can also see, too, that, like, he made the choice of not picking Caitlyn, who he was more physically attracted to, because he wanted to work on being a little more deep, having a little bit more of an emotional connection. And he also might have thought that Justine might never do that to him. And
I think that goes back to, like, what he said, like, whoever he picks, like, before when he was talking about Caitlyn and Justine, like, whoever he picks, like, he's going to be all in on them. And he didn't say it to Justine per se, but he said it to other people or in the diary room, whatever. And so I think the fact that he kind of stayed true to that, which I didn't think he would.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
Kind of have, like, a soft spot for him.
Exactly. It's like we haven't seen him show the color of, like, the shitty guy yet.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Like, he still has it in him, but he hasn't proved that so far. And so right now, I do believe his ego was bruised. I would be horrified. I would never speak to her again. I'd be like, hand in the face. Like, I would not be into that at all. So yeah, bruised ego, but also, like, I don't know, she could have a little bit more human decency on how she interacts with people. That might
even if she just told Rachel what she was going to do, I would have been feeling better about Justine, because at least she told, but yeah, no, I think if she would have at least told Rachel, like, hey, I might go for Caleb, but she didn't even do that. So it was like kind of like she screwed over a guy and a girl. So I was like, I didn't know what to think.
No.
But just show a little, come on, like, but it is Love Island. I get it. I don't know. I was confused all around. Like, I love Justine, and I wore my hair in, like, a high pony for her with a scrunchie. Like, that's my girl, but
no. She didn't handle it well. Yes, time does fly. Time flying. We're having fun. We haven't even gotten to the end of the episode yet.
Oh my God.
Back up. We're just going to get to the end of the episode. Then we're going to wrap it up because this can't be 3 hours.
No, let's go.
No. So where did we get to? Yeah, I just heard to dislike Justine, Trey and Johnny. Well, yeah, Trey was saying, Johnny was saying that, Trey, like, you picked her. Like, she's going to want to be with you. Like, she would want to stay with you. And so, wait, is that what I'm going to talk about? Is that right?
Wait, yeah.
Yeah, Trey, she picked you. No, you picked her, so she's going to want to stay with you. I don't know, whatever that whole thing is.
Yeah.
I feel like she should be loyal to Trey. I really just do.
I felt that too. I was a little, but I get, if she just would have handled it differently, like, this wouldn't even be a conversation.
Yep.
I feel.
So I said that I liked actually Lauren and Trey together. Like, I wasn't actually upset by them being a new couple. So
yeah, so we're like, so obviously Sally and Johnny picked each other.
And they were cute.
James and Moira, not James and Moira, sorry. Calvin and Moira. Who else were the obvious ones? Connor and Mackenzie, I guess.
Yeah, wait, so it went Calvin and Moira, Johnny and Sally, Connor and Mackenzie, Carrington and Kirsten. And then I was like, oh shoot, they're going to give Caleb the button position. Like, he's going to make the decision. So Trey picks Lauren, and I was happy about this, to be honest, because, like, I wanted Lauren to stay. I thought she'd bring something interesting into the villa.
I wanted her to stay. I don't think her and Trey will work out. I think they'll cuddle. They'll probably, like, make out a bit and, like, go to second base possibly. But I don't think they'll last, like, by any means. I think both of them know the situation they're in, and they'll both jump. But I'm happy Lauren's there only because I think it keeps everyone on their toes and makes it more comfortable.
Like, LOL, I'm praying for Justine, guys. Sorry. At this moment, I was like, please choose Rachel. Oh, God. Please. please.
I still wanted him to pick Justine, and so I always have the subtitles on the TV. And so, like, before I was watching all the other couples, I would see, like, when it got to Carrington, it was like Kirsten. And so, like, when it came to Justine and Caleb and Rachel, I like forced myself to look away, and I was like, he's gonna say Rachel, he's gonna say Rachel. And then he said Justine, and I couldn't believe it.
I mean,
but I was actually happy because I'm like, if she opened up that much to him, she better be doing the same. Like, she can't, like, she can't do that and then be like closed off, not wanting to cuddle, not like, she's got to be like full on, like with Caleb.
If she's full on, and she also got out the person that's going to make it the most awkward. Like, she might be awkward around Trey, who knows? But like, you know, the girl that she stole her guy, like, is not going to be in the villa, so it's not going to have that hurdle that she's going to have to go to having that friend that she basically like stabbed in the back to get the guy. So that won't be there. So it will be a little bit easier for her to maybe pursue things with Caleb. And obviously in that moment, I was still really mad with Justine with having this last 2 hours and like 40 minutes. I'm kind of easing up on my
but everyone in the villa was crying because I think they thought Justine was going.
Were they crying because she was staying, or crying because Rachel was leaving?
No, I think they were crying because they thought Justine was going. Like, Sally was like full on crying before Caleb even stood up. I think Moira was crying. Mackenzie was crying. And then the second that it was Justine staying, they were like, oh. So I think they all thought she was going. So whether or not they were genuinely surprised, I was.
I was surprised. Like, I was like, I'm no longer Team Justine. We'll see if things change, realist answers. You've really made me think a little bit differently about my judgment towards her actions. I do think that she wasn't being a good friend. I can see also, though, that she may never have put herself first, and this was the first time that she's done it. So she might not know the etiquette and know how to like do this a little bit more smoothly. So I'm going to give her a light pass right now.
I think she redeems herself and is like full in on Caleb, and
if I see it working, yeah,
or at least her trying not waiting until it's too late. Then I'll
see though that she gets all weird when now it's the tables are turned and some like more guys come in or more girls come in. Like, if I see this nonsense again of like wishy-washiness, like, I'm going to be out for good. But I'll give her a pass this time. I will ease up my dislike for Justine, and I will allow her to get to know Caleb and give her the benefit of the doubt here.
I want to see an edit though. Like, give us Justine and Caleb. I want to see it all.
So maybe tomorrow there'll be some more footage. So I'm going to actually start working. We should start not tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, Saturday. We should start
episode tonight too.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about like the scenes we haven't seen.
We'll
talk about it on Sunday as well, because I think that there's actually stuff that goes in there that is kind of important. So we can do like full crack on mug off at that, because I feel like it'll be more like we just do like bang 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 bang. There's gonna be less story, just more scenes. So
agreed.
So we'll just do that way, or maybe find those scenes for Jaquan for us to act out how we feel like respond. The only other thing that I had to note for the episode was when Caleb kind of hugs Rachel when they're leaving, when she's packing, and she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get to tell you. Like, I wanted to tell you, like, you know, you deserve much more than a conversation." So I think that with him saying that, that's why the villa was so shocked, because I don't think that she knew that it was going to be her going.
I don't think anyone knew.
Yeah.
People can say what they want, that, you know, they're acting surprised, but I think all of them are crying because like an OG from the villa was going.
Yeah, we know Trey used to be a playa. We're hoping that he was like having a change of heart by pursuing Justine. So we're still giving him the benefit of the doubt too.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
allowing his outside history dictate who he is in the villa, because this is him in the villa. So we're giving him the benefit of the doubt as well.
I'm giving both of them a pass, and they better show me something.
And Johnny too. Johnny,
my hottie.
Johnny. I'm not saying it's right, but Trey was hurt in the past. That's why he's become a player. Absolutely. Players are guarded. Players don't want to be hurt. Players want to be in the power position. So they don't let people in usually. And so this isn't good for a player to have someone who they usually wouldn't choose kind of hurt their feelings. So he might go back to his old ways.
Yeah.
And they thought Justine didn't have a chance, and Sally had said, yeah, we know Sally loves Justine. We do know that.
Yeah.
We do know that. Oh my God. So guys, any last questions before I haven't even eaten yet?
I told you it's gonna be hard for one episode.
Water. I mean, it was a 2-hour episode. So 2-hour episode, you can guarantee that you're gonna talk for 2 hours. That's what I've noticed anyways in the grand scheme of things. Like however long the episode is how long you can talk about it usually, or longer as we can too. So any last thoughts about this lovely episode we call Love Island episode 8? No. I'm talking to you. Brazil.
What, me?
Yes.
No, I'm good.
What, you guys, any other questions?
I thought you were talking to them. I'm sorry.
I'm Team Justine. Oh, another Team Justine. Ooh!
Another one?
Yeah, I'll post it. I used to be Team Justine. She really, she let me down this episode. There's always room for redemption. I can be very forgiving. Nope. Thanks for a good chat. Yes, anytime. We're going to be on usually around between 2 and 4 the next day after the show comes on. So after
come back. Everyone come back.
Yeah, come back and hang out with us. I love chatting though. It's so fun.
Subscribe, ring the bell, tell all your friends.
Yeah, please. And if they want to find you online, where can they find you, Brazil?
At babyzil on Instagram.
Perfect. You can find me at ShanFranFran or at Reality Realness with 3 S's on Instagram. On Twitter, you can find me at Shan___Fran or at Reality Realness with 3 S's, but not the second E. La-di-da-di-da. As Brazil said, please subscribe down below. Tell your friends to surprise us. Subscribe and join the conversation about Love Island. It's actually a pretty good chat considering it's such a fluff show. I think it brings up a lot of really good conversations, and it's aesthetically good looking people and it's fun to watch, and they have silly challenges, and I don't know, I think it's a good time. What does she call it? I don't have to say. I'll be back for the rest of the season. Yes, you will. Enjoy the rest of the night, y'all. You too, everybody. Enjoy your night. Hit that like button, ring that bell to be notified every single time we have a new live video or just a regular video uploaded. Final words? Okay, bye guys.
I was trying to think.